Hello, and welcome to Stone's Gambling Hall. I'm David Tuchman. This is
Justin Kelly, guys.
Yeah, we are here for what is the Chip Amplifier at the Stones Fall Festival. We apologize for the late start. We had some technical difficulties, but thanks to the technical prowess of both myself and Justin,
Absolutely.
we were able to figure this out, and we are here for you guys. We are down to 8 players. We lost Carrie in 9th, so she takes home $833. Our remaining 8 players all guaranteed $1,100. Starting field $230. First place, a whopping $12,161.
Yeah, $12,000 all the way down to, I mean, the initial buy-in was what, $120? $120 to $12,000. Not a bad day's worth of work.
Yeah, and the way this worked, we'll actually get into all of how this worked out, because some of the players are in this tournament for $120. Others, not naming names, Valerie Cross, are in for well over $700.
A little bit more.
Right. So we'll get into exactly how that works out. But 8 players remain, and of course, as we mentioned, $12,100 up top. I'm pretty excited.
I'm super excited. Let's cruise down the table, walk around, check out what's going on here.
Yep. Especially considering I did not think. I mean, we thought we were going to go. Then we thought we weren't going to go. Then we thought we were going to go.
Exactly.
And back and forth. But I am, at this point, really, really excited to see some poker and watch poker.
Absolutely. So we got Kristen in the box, throwing around some cards here. Down to the final 8 here. Like Tuchman said, you're starting with 230 players, down to the remaining 8. See, low here in under the gun. Ace 9, she's going to let it go.
So seat number 1 is Hugh. We'll introduce the players as we can. So Hugh in seat number 1. Seat number 2 in the red shirt is Wilton. He's from the Dominican Republic, and his wife is watching. So if you are watching, and I know it's late, obviously, hello to Wilton's wife.
Absolutely.
Andy in seat number 3. Seat number 4 is MC. Seat 5, wearing the hat, is Cliff. Carrie, unfortunately, has been eliminated. And it's terrible because she was so excited to be on the live stream, and then we couldn't get her.
3 women, I think, at the final table here. Super solid.
Yeah, Valerie Cross. We'll get a glimpse of her and her plaques.
Absolutely, more plaques are better. Plaques are awesome.
And then, of course, Fortunate in seat 8, and you mentioned Low in seat number 9. For those of you who are just joining us, those plaques, those are what you want to pay attention to. Those are $25,000 each.
And plaques always feel good. You feel like you're in a James Bond movie. Always solid with plaques.
Yeah. I mean, this would be a really bad James Bond movie, but yeah.
Who's going to bust out the silence pistol and see what happens here?
Right.
All right, and Fortune is going to let Ace Queen go against Hughes all in here with pocket 6s, and he's going to take it down.
Take a look at the chip count here. So Wilton with just 14 big blinds. I got to tell you, it's funny. There's some huge ICM considerations here with everybody being so short stacked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can make a lot of money just by surviving.
Yeah.
That said, I think I don't know if Ace Queen is just too strong to fold when you've got like 11 bigs.
It's just worth like okay, I muck it because why not? You know, yeah.
I mean, Ace 10, maybe, but I'm just thinking. I mean, Ace Queen. The problem is you're just going to be dominating your opponent too often. Your opponent's going to have Ace Jack to Ace 10.
Yeah, the blinds are too big to where everybody's looking for that all-in scenario, and their range actually opens up at that point to where Ace Queen is super solid to kind of like catch them with, you know?
Right. I mean, it's one of those weird situations where even though Ace Queen is not as good as a pair, when you call with, let's say you called with a pair, small pair, oftentimes you're either A, dominated, or you're in a flip situation. But when you have Ace Queen, it's just not going to be that often that you're dominated.
Yeah, you're like, look, show me Ace Queen or Ace King or a pocket pair, otherwise, like, I'm in.
But even a pocket pair, you're not in bad shape.
I'll take the coin
kings,
flip.
or queens, yeah.
I mean, guys, we're 8-handed. I'll take the coin flip. You know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, queen high flop, nothing there for either player. So you figure the aggressive player should win this.
Yeah,
Low's gonna bet.
Give me the Ace Queen right here. I'll take it all day, right?
Yeah,
like, I'm in.
For sure.
Yeah.
So nobody had a ton of chips, and as we mentioned, I mean, our big stack just had 14 big blinds. Our short stack with just 5 big blinds. But huge pay jumps. I mean, second place, over 7,500. Third place, 5,200. And of course, all those players guaranteed 1,100.
And there were some considerations, I think, actually when they got to 8-handed, there were possible talks about a chop because again, and this is where the whole chip amplifier aspect of it comes into play. Some of these players were into this for $120. Then the next possible level buy-in was $220 where you got twice the chips, then $350, and then $550 for the final amount. So you either started with 10,000 chips, 20,000 chips, 35,000 chips, or 60,000 chips in this tournament.
Right, and it was a re-entry, so if you got eliminated in one of those levels, you could rebuy, and that's exactly what Valerie Cross did.
Exactly.
I think she's in this tournament for 770.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I want to say hi to Babyface Atlanta. What's up?
Babyface ATL, always a regular in the chat. What's going on?
Again, guys, we do apologize for the late start. Obviously, first of all, the final table started late, and then we had some technical difficulties. But all joking aside, I got to hand it off to the team here. They have been at it all day long.
Straight up.
Trying to, sort this out.
Yeah. Down to the wire, they were like, we can still do a stream. Do you guys, are you ready? Are
we
you
were
down?
walking out.
Yeah, we're ready. We're super ready. Like, we came back to the booth because, poker, dude, poker.
We were
right?
walking out.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, you had already roofied me.
That's it. So I apologize if you fall asleep. That's my fault. Hugh does bink a 4 here on the flop.
This is going to be an interesting situation because we've seen 2 hands in a row where it's folded around to the blinds. Now, there's a fine line because it is difficult to be aggressive at this point because of ICM. Mm-hmm. But at the same point, if you know that all of your opponents are playing it really close to the vest,
Of course.
it probably makes a lot of sense to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, you get to kind of exploit that. Now, for the viewers who may be watching who don't know what ICM is, can you kind of elaborate a little bit on ICM and what that is?
The fancy term for it is the independent chip model.
Okay.
But essentially what I'm trying to say is, and I'll run it down, essentially it's what your chips are worth in actual monetary terms. And it dictates in certain situations where even if a play shows a profit over the long term, in that particular spot, it might not be the best play to stick your chips in a certain spot. And I'm butchering this, but because of the big pay jumps.
Because the actual payout structure as a whole, right? I mean, it may not make sense to, why would I go all in here when I could just fold the next guy?
Well, that's the whole point. I mean, especially, okay, there's a player here with 4 big blinds, right?
Yeah.
So the chip leader, I think, had 16 big blinds. So if I have 11 or 12 big blinds, it is a catastrophe for me. It's a catastrophe for me to get knocked out with 4 big when there's a really short stack out there.
Of course.
Because you can actually make money by just folding.
Yeah.
So it sometimes, because of the jumps, that can dictate you to do certain things. That can dictate you to fold in certain spots where it probably is profitable to call.
Well, prime example, I mean, we see Val Cross here making a solid raise here from the hijack with King 10 suited. Obviously, Hugh has a better hand here. 135K is a lot to consider over to Hugh's position here from the small. Hugh is going to ship it, though.
Yeah.
Ship it all in.
Yeah, and I like this play. I mean, Valerie is a smart player. He knows that she's opening fairly wide. I mean, in all fairness, I think Valerie probably could have just opened shoved. What are the blinds right now?
30-60 with a 5K Andy.
Yeah, she should just shove that.
Yeah,
because now the problem is now she's in a spot where she doesn't want to. You don't want to call off with this hand.
Yeah.
And Hugh could be. I mean, there's a lot of hands. I mean, he happened to be shoving with a hand that has her dominated.
Yeah.
But
even if Hugh was shoving with ace rag, it still technically has her dominated as well, and that's kind of
he could be shoving
spot.
with threes right here.
Yeah.
And now she can't call off. So I mean, the fact that she's even thinking about it, this is just an easy shove. She only had 10 and a half, 11 big blinds. Just shove it all in.
Yeah. And this is this whole blind poker thing. I mean, a lot of times you get solid players down to the final finish. You get a lot of this here where it's literally battle of the kickers. I mean, it's notch, King 10 versus King Jack. I mean, that's how close it will get at this point in the game. You know?
And getting back to the whole ICM thing, a good way to look at it is when you're on the money bubble. At the beginning of a tournament, all your chips are worth what the buy-in is worth.
Exactly.
But if you are one away from the money, remember you only need 1 chip. if you make the money, that chip is worth whatever that minute.
And that's where the term "chip in a chair" comes from, right? Like somebody just surviving. I'm with you though. Like somebody just surviving and just be like, okay, I fold, but somehow I folded, managed to let 2 other people explode, and made extra thousands of dollars.
Right.
In the pay jump. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially that's what it is. Yeah, and you don't see it as much, obviously, early on in tournaments. You don't see it. This is something that happens once you as you approach the money, and then as you start laddering up, and especially at final tables, because people don't realize the difference between 4th and 3rd in this tournament is the equivalent to 7th place money.
Exactly.
So just laddering up from 4th to 3rd is a big deal.
It's huge. Speaking of big deals,
this is a good player.
Yeah, ships it with King 10. Lots of plaques. Plaques are fun.
Fortunate it's all in here. This could be Cliff's tournament line. He's got live cards though. I mean, he's all in before bigs.
That's almost one of the better things you could hope for. You're like, at least I got live cards. I'm not like time dominated. Yeah, absolutely. A 7 deuce, not much.
He's gonna end up having like 41%. I'm actually surprised it's 2-1. I mean, I'm assuming. Does that take in dead cards?
It does. It does. We do calculate the odds here on the dead cards. Yeah, absolutely.
So Cliff all in for his tournament life. If he is eliminated here, it'll take home $1,100. Oh, there's a king.
King monster. King ball here.
Yeah, I mean, really nothing there. But fortunate.
Yeah. Fortunate, looking for the ace. Possible club for more outs here on the turn. Oof. Looking for that ace and ace only here on the river. Now, all 3 aces are live, guys. We do calculate if an ace was folded here. And that is going to be the end of the tournament.
No.
I'm sorry. Double up for Cliff here.
Yeah.
Fortunate takes a bit of a hit.
And every hand, huge.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I feel like every hand is really kind of all in stakes. I mean, even if you're losing the pot, it's not for a small amount of chips.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny. I remember doing many years ago. I did commentary on an EPT, and I watched Mike McDonald Timex in a similar situation. I think it was like 5-handed, but nobody had a lot of chips, and he recognized that nobody really wanted to put their chips in. He went all in like 9 times in a row.
Oh, and just everybody folded, right?
He literally, I think he tripled or quadrupled up by just picking up blinds and antes, and you can do that here too. Mm-hmm. With the blinds at 30,000, 60,000, or the 10,000 ante, you're picking up like 2 big blinds around by just doing that.
I don't know if you ended up if you caught a bit of the Mike Postle dream seat thing going on that we had here, but it was me and Lon, and it was the same kind of thing. Ducky there at the final end when they knew that the final hand was going to be in the next 5 to 10 hands, and it was the same kind of thing where Ducky just continually shoved, and he was shoving over the top of people's raises, full well knowing that people couldn't call his all-in, period. They raised to try to take down the pot, but they couldn't call his all-in, to where he just kept, again, he just increased the stack and increased the stack over and over and over with no contest, and he ended up taking like second in that entire tournament.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is, in this particular tournament, I'd be playing it a little bit more aggressively, because if you look at the pay jumps, it goes from 833 to 1100, then it goes from 1100 to 1400.
Yeah.
Then it goes 14 to 18. Now, I don't want to say nothing like $300, $400, but when you get a little bit higher...
That's only second level buy-in, though, for this tournament. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
3rd place is 5,200. 2nd place is 7,500. So I want to put myself in a situation where I can win this. Mm-hmm. I don't want to just ladder up and take 6th.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So I'm actually going to be playing it a little more aggressively, which is why I would be calling off with Ace Queen. If I was Valor, I would have just shoved at the Ace with the King 10. Mm-hmm. And if I get knocked out, it's so be it.
Exactly. Put other people to a decision rather than them putting you to one.
Well, we saw it earlier on. Think about it. We saw Fortunate fold Ace Queen to a shove.
Yeah.
So players don't want to call
huge.
Off. Right.
That's so huge. Like, give me that information as a player at this table. Like, I would love to know that people are mucking Ace Queen to my shove. Like, I will shove all day, every day at that point.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If people are only calling like 9s plus an Ace King, you know, it's a really profitable play.
Solid.
Q picks up Ace King off suit here. He's going to raise. And Wilton has 3-bet this, it looks like. I believe. We'll get exactly. I'm waiting for the... or it might have just been a raise and a call.
Our action tracker is still waking up.
It's
a late night. It's a late night show.
So it's a raise and a call. Let's see what Andy does here. Andy might shove. And if he shoves, he's going to get called.
Wow, so Hugh does make a solid raise in the cutoff, and Will does decide to flat here with 9-10. I mean, not that 9-10 suited is a bad hand here on the button, but it's a solid strategy here with Andy the King Queen. Wow, he lets it go. And that right there will give you a solid glimpse of different ways to play poker. I mean, that's you know.
Well, it's just players don't want to get eliminated. You know,
Oh,
and
I get it.
We've seen it all the time.
Yeah.
Wilton here, you know, he's not afraid to gamble a little bit.
Oof. Not a gambling flop. Kind of a super dry flop here.
This is interesting though, because you got to think, what kind of hand? If I'm in Hughes' spot, what kind of hand would Wilton, who only had, Wilton started the same with like 13 bigs.
Yeah.
What kind of hand is he not 3-bet shoving, and he's calling me with?
Exactly.
And I don't mind this bet at all, because I mean, I think Ace-King is still probably the best hand. But Wilton could have a hand like Queen-Jack.
Yeah. Wilton either has a super aggressive hand where he's going to push on you there, or he's going to completely go away, like with that kind of board texture.
Yeah, but the thing is, the hands that he's going to shove on you with, wouldn't you think that he would have 3-bet 3-flop with? Tens, jacks, queens,
absolutely.
those kind of hands.
Yeah.
And maybe he's got sevens.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
But you're right. Any sort of pair, medium or higher pair, I feel like he would have 3-bet you with, and you would have already known about it. You know what I mean?
Right, and the cards would have been on my back, and you would have seen all 5 cards. The fact of the matter, Hugh also had, even if he was called, Hugh could have caught an ace, a king, and he had running spades. He had the ace of spades in his hand as well.
Yeah.
Valerie,
if you got 2 high spades there, you're loving life.
Right.
Especially heads up, all day.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. Once again, our apologies for the late start.
Everybody's joining us, though. I love it. Our late night hardcore fans. Absolutely, you guys are the best. Thank you very much for tuning in and joining us.
It's
Very
like
cool.
late night jazz with Train and Tuck.
That's it, dude. The TNT.
I like it.
TNT, I'm in.
What's the? I'm sure I asked you this many times before, but I'm curious. For anybody who doesn't know, where'd the nickname come from?
Ooh, Train, man. A few more drinks.
We can get into it then?
A little
Okay.
bit of side banter. We can go there.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
absolutely.
So Wilton's gonna raise you, and this is to shove or fold. You don't have enough. You don't want to get re-raised, and frankly, you don't even really want to call. You just want to end the hand.
No, just give me the pot right now, and I'm happy.
And in all fairness, shoving with that kind of hand in late position, you're gonna get a lot of folds. I mean, Cliff's in the big line. He actually can call. He's getting a good price. He's getting a good price, and I know a lot of players here who might shove. I don't think you need to shove. I think you can just call.
And it looks like he's grabbing a stack of plaques and some chips. He sure is going to make the call. Once again, guys, the plaques are 25K. I believe the pinks are 10K. Yeah, something that sounds about
5K?
right.
Pinks?
5K, 10K? Yeah, we'll see here.
I think it's 5 and 25.
All right. Says the guy who didn't play this tournament.
I didn't
today.
play it, but I don't remember. I went out there. I didn't remember seeing any 10,000 chips.
Oh yeah, they're the 5K chips
Okay.
for sure. Yeah. Ooh, and Cliff
It's all
does.
going in.
Oh wow, it's all getting in. It might be all in for both these guys.
It's
here.
all going. There's no way you can't.
Absolutely
If
no.
you're Cliff, if
Nobody's going anywhere here. Yeah.
both players see the flop. There's no way the chips aren't going in. I mean, one player's flopped a
Here
straight
it
draw with a
comes
flush
here.
draw, and the other player flopped top pair. I mean, this should go check.
Yeah, so we got Cliff here in the big here, and Cliff checks over to Wilton, obviously looking for the check raise. Wilton's going to definitely... What? Did Cliff
He just
check?
announced all in, I believe.
Oh, there we go. There it is.
And this is a pretty easy
Oh, yeah, insta snap, insta call here. All in, all in.
And this is, by the way,
Nowhere.
neither player did anything wrong. This is exactly how it should be played out.
That's
Once
standard.
Wilton raises, there's no other way this is
Yeah,
going to play
that's
out.
it.
And now it's just a question of...
Wilton with a straight draw flush draw, Cliff a top pair, solid kicker.
Yeah.
This is how it's going down.
So Wilton looking for an 8 or a spade. Eight or a spade. Wilton is the player who is at... No, yeah, Wilton is the player at risk. Cliff, virtually all in.
Yeah,
6 is not going to help him. Looking for an 8 or a spade, or Wilton could be out. Oh, and there's a spade.
Spade gets it.
Wilton is pumped.
Wilton with the flush. You see the instant out of the seat jump up. Right
Now Cliff
there.
thinks he's eliminated, but from our count, it looks like he still has 45,000 chips. We'll just verify that for you at home.
Everyone in the chat chanting 8, Bink, here it comes, watch out. That's poker.
Now, by the way, now this is going back to what I was saying in terms of laddering up. If our calculations are correct, and Cliff does have 45,000 chips, which is less than one big blind.
Yeah.
He has literally 1.5 small blinds. Now at this point, it would be an it would be absolutely awful to get eliminated before him.
Absolutely.
Because
oh my God,
you're burning money.
Yeah, exactly. You're literally fuming off at least 300,
and maybe
if not more. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So that's the thing. So at this point, now I'm not sure how these players, whether they're focusing on the ladder jumps or not, or whatever it is. But at this point, if you have one of the bigger stacks, you can really pick on the medium stacks because they have the most to lose.
Yeah.
That said, I mean, in all likelihood, Cliff is probably going to be in the next hand or two.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, the medium stacks.
10,000 ante. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting huge, guys. And the blinds have actually just increased here in the last hand or two. So the blinds are now 40K, 80K with a 10K
really?
ante. It's huge. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
It's huge.
By the way, there's 5.4 million chips in play. So just to do math really quick here, we are talking there is less than 70 big blinds in play.
Yeah, straight up.
And there's 8 players. This is correct, guys. There are less than 70 big blinds in play.
These aren't just like imaginary numbers, like this is it.
No, but we have 8 players, and there's less than 70 big blinds.
Mm-hmm. So to put that in perspective, guys, even the people who bought into this tournament, the absolute highest at the $550 buy-in point, only got 60,000 in chips. That's less than one big blind right now at this final table. So we are the ultra deep end of this tournament here.
I mean, you and I have both covered a lot of final tables, and when there are 70 big blinds in play, that is generally when the tournament ends.
Oh, exactly.
We're usually heads up right now.
Which is why it's not surprising, actually, that it went to a possible chop consideration earlier, because they know that these blinds are getting astronomically huge relative to stack size.
Yeah, if I get a good deal here, I'm not a big fan of chopping.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather exploit my opponent's weaknesses.
Exactly.
But
everybody's scared because of the blinds, right?
But I at this point, though, I wouldn't be against it. There's just so much luck involved at this point that I would not be against chopping at this point.
I feel like the majority of players are looking for that sort of all-in hand, like you said, like earlier when we saw the 7-10 of spades versus king-queen, right? It's like you're going to flop that top pair, you're going to flop that monster draw, and you're looking for a spot to ship it here.
By the way, it says 7 remaining. We actually have 8 remaining still.
Yeah.
Cliff is not out yet.
It's true. He's got 45K, definitely short side, but still in.
Once again, Justin Kelly, David Tuchman here. Thanks for joining us here at Stone's Live, Stone's Gambling Hall. Tomorrow, by the way, is the Assassin's Bounty. Do you want to tell them about that a little bit?
Super cool tournament, guys. It's a $300 buy-in, $100 bounties. All you're going to do is plus 3 other players. Doesn't matter what else you do after that. You're free roll in the tournament. Hop in. I'll be in it. For sure. Definitely come down tomorrow. Assassin's Bounty is going to be rad. Again, $300 buy-in, 35K guaranteed. $100 bounties. Be here. It's going to be a blast. That kicks off at 10 a.m. tomorrow, October 1st. I can't think of a better way to start my frightful Halloween month than here with the Assassin's Bounty.
Do you celebrate Halloween the entire month?
Why not? I mean, if you're going to threaten me with a good time for 30 days of Halloween, I'm in.
Fair enough. Cliff is all in with King 6, by the way. I think King 6 of diamonds is what he has. Fortunate's got 7s. Let's get the cards up here. And I wonder if this is a situation where 5 players are going to call just to eliminate the player. We'll see.
And we've seen it a lot in tournaments where if one player's all in for relatively short stacked, a few other players will call and then just kind of go with the, we're not going to talk about it, but we might do it, whole check down type scenario.
To eliminate a player,
it depends.
Right?
Unless you're actually relatively strong in the hand with the possibility of getting counterfeited, then I see players get a little bit more aggressive. For the most part, it's always kind of a faux pas when some player who has no chance of winning the hand bets everybody else off it and then loses.
From a strategy point of view, I don't think it's a terrible idea if you have chips. If you're a chip leader in this situation, I don't think it's a terrible idea to actually do that.
Yeah.
Simply because it doesn't hurt you to keep Cliff in.
Absolutely.
In fact, it actually helps you because you can continue to take advantage. 7's full for Fortunate. And
Fortunate
Cliff is out.
Yeah, that's it.
Cliff is drawing dead.
In fact, seal the deal here.
Everybody's drawing dead.
Yeah. Fortunate, you're good. You win all day, every day, bud. Now, obviously, our graphics there are a little bit off here. It was Jack 4-4 on the flop, 7 on the turn. Either way, Fortunate with the best hand. It's going to eliminate Cliff there. Cliff will take 8th place for, what, 1,100 it looks like?
$1,100.
$1,100 for Cliff. Now, I don't exactly know what Cliff was in for, but even if he was in for worst case scenario of the top end buy-in, that's still going to be just about double what he bought in for, around 550 plus. So,
Kind of him trade a good time. So the remaining 7 players all guaranteed $1,400. Take a look at the chip count here. And we only have 6 there. We're missing one.
Almost a solid tie there between Hugh and Wilton at 1.44 million apiece.
So I'm seeing 7. I only saw 6 names up there, so we're missing one of those. I don't know who we're missing on the graphic.
Yeah.
Okay, it went pretty quick, and I couldn't figure it out.
Trying to do our check off on the sheet.
Well,
here.
I'm looking. Clearly, we have 7 players here, but on that chip leaderboard, we only had 6. So, once again, guys, you can look at all the graphics on the side. 230 players started this journey, and they started today. This tournament started at 10 in the morning.
Which goes to say something, because they're on 14 hours and some change so far playing, and that's the funny thing is that's where a lot of people are like, oh yeah, poker, you play poker, oh that sounds easy, that sounds fun. Like guys, you're grinding 14+ hour days, like just to go ahead and do it all again the next day. Like it's a solid grind.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I've played a bunch with Hugh. He's a good player, solid guy. He's got a ton of chips. 1.4 million.
I just say it's the hardest easy money you'll ever make, you know? So Hugh here with Ace Jack is going to come in probably for a raise here. We're stacking it up.
And Hugh has the unfortunate situation of having the other chip leader on his left.
Solid raise here, 170K.
So Wilton decides, when Wilton is shorter, he calls with 10-9 suited, but now that he has chips, he folds Queen 10 suited.
Right?
Interesting, okay.
Reasons, lots of reasons.
Fortunate in the big blind with deuces. Not normally a hand that I like to play.
The death of the pocket pair, I mean, you hate it. It's a pair, but you know you're always, at best, like 50-50 coin flip, otherwise dominated.
Well, I don't want, I mean, normally I don't mind just folding in late position. In the big blind, though, I'm already getting 4-1. I might, if I can afford it, I might just, toss in the extra couple of chips and see a flop. Hugh with 19 big blinds, Wilton with 16 big blinds. Cross now, our short stack with just 4 big blinds. She got stuck. She called to sit with the 6 deuce. And then I think she's already in the blind actually for that one.
Getting hit with checks even in the booth, dude.
Yeah, seriously. I thought she was bringing you a drink.
No, that's it. There's no. I was hoping I was getting brought a drink.
It was not alcohol. Instead, it was just a bill.
Fortunately, not. Yeah.
It's just that you owe me money.
It's tough. It's tough here at Stone.
Tough life.
Yeah.
See the payout scrolling on the bottom there. So once again, Assassin's Bounty tomorrow. Cool little concept. That starts at 10 in the morning. And apparently Justin Hammer will be doing commentary tomorrow night. Who's he doing it with tomorrow night?
You know what? I will take a look here. I will be able to get you an answer on that. But I love it. His actual avatar looks like he's pretty much Superman, like superhero style, ready to rock.
Super Hammer.
Yes, Super Hammer all day. It will be him and Michael Lonkar actually tomorrow evening.
Hugh moved all in there. See, Hugh can really start pushing. He can really push just because there's a couple of short stacks out there. Nobody's going to want to call off.
And I feel like he was one of those players where, there's always certain players at the table where you're like, if that guy gets chips, we're in trouble. Hugh is kind of one of those guys where you're like, okay, well, he not only got chips, but he knows how to use them effectively. Yeah. And that's kind of like, it's a little rough. It gets a little rough here with Hugh.
And if this doesn't turn around for Valerie, I mean, you never know, but I think she can point to that King 10 hand as kind of I'm good friends with Valerie. I love her. She's a really good poker player.
I love Val.
I have a lot of respect for her game. She's a very, very good poker player. She thinks about the game on a really high level. But I think when she looks back at that hand, she'll realize that was a fold or a shove. And it's pretty easy shove from the cutoff, which is where I think she raised from.
Yeah.
And by the way, if she shoves there, she doesn't get called. She adds 2 big blinds to her stack.
Absolutely.
Instead,
correct.
she raised and cost herself. That's a 4 big blind swing, which doesn't seem like a lot, guys.
But
when
at
there's
these blinds, it's huge. Either the 3060K or the 4080K that we're in now. It's huge. It's a huge swing.
All right,
Yeah.
when there's only 70 big blinds in play,
Yeah.
a 4 big blind, 5 big blind swing is a lot.
With eight players left, it's huge. Yeah, it's huge. My hindsight vision is clearly 2020. Oh, here, Kings! Wow, look at this. From the Kings from the hijack. Wakes up with it.
Yeah, and
And Val with Ace Queen.
Oh, this is a tough spot here.
This is rough.
I mean, and this is, I don't think you can lay this down ever. I mean, unless you have some ridiculous read on MC.
Yeah. You just have like some I'm feeling your pulse right now, and just yeah.
I mean, she's got what, 4 bigs?
I mean, how do you lay this down to you have Ace, King, or Jacks or better?
She knows it though. Look, I mean, she's got like little spidey sense, and she knows probably in pretty bad shape right here. And we can see that she has 2 outs basically.
And exactly
Yeah, guys. I mean, obviously
like,
a much different situation. I mean, if all these players have 25, 30 big blinds, it's a much different situation.
Exactly. And like Bob chiming in here, technically 4 big blinds essentially, a little over 4 big blinds. It's rough. I mean, how do you muck Ace Queen there with a little over 4 big blinds? I mean, you ship it and you hope for the best.
By the way, Wilton really shouldn't fold because it's 265 to call to win like 1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
And he can afford it. I mean, you'd hate to just give away the chips, but he's just getting too good a price. And the mere fact is, like, if MC has kings and Cross has 9s, he's got. It turns out
if you have a random 1 outer, 3 outer technically, with a naked ace, oh my god, all day.
Right, he's got.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if he knows what his opponents have here,
yeah, of course,
then he can fold.
Yeah.
But I don't. You don't know that though. One of your opponents could easily have, again, one of your opponents could easily have kings, and the other person can have jacks.
And he's in there too. Yeah. Well, it's like me and JFK. This game's so much easier when the hands are we can see everybody's hands. So much easier.
Yeah, the game is much easier from the booth.
Oh my god, I'm in.
But he's just getting too good a price. I mean, it was 265 to win 1.122 million. I mean, and eliminate 2 players. And by the way, even if he loses this pot, he still has 1 million checks.
Yeah, he's great. He's looking great. He's basically free rolling this pot. A couple diamonds flop. Wilton's basically looking to shoot the sun right here.
Let's see how it rolls out here. By the way, MC, who was all in for just, basically was like 6 big blinds, could triple up, and wow.
King in the window. Huge.
Yeah, well, Valerie Cross actually picked up some extra outs. She went from having 2 outs to now having 4 outs. She's looking for a 10. Still just a 10.
Still got the 10 out.
10 ball. 1 time. Not this time. Oh, and there's the ace just to
Oh my god, just for fun. Just because of reasons.
Right.
Yeah, right?
So MC is going to triple up, and I believe that is Cross's tournament. She's going to be out in 7th place. She'll take home $1,400.
Cross, a fellow commentator here at Stone's Live Poker. Always a pleasure. Absolutely love her. Glad she is back in the greater Sacramento, Northern California area. Love V Cross. Solid
Well, she was traveling. I mean, Cross was traveling a lot working with Poker News, but now she still works with Poker News, but she's able to do it from home.
Which is, I mean, best case scenario all day. Fantastic. Love having Val local. Every time I come in here, she's just super fun to play with, super nice, always a pleasure. I mean, I've seen her take the wickedest of beats and just have a smile and whatever. Let me buy you a drink, let's go hang out. Just super, super, super great person. So, congrats, Val. Super deep run here. 230 players. Val will take, 7th place, yeah?
Yeah, obviously it's disappointing. I mean, she had chips, and
Yeah.
at this point, to get to that field to okay, so she doubled her money, which is nothing to sneeze about, but, I mean, you're 2 or 3 spots away from making some good money, good shank.
You get to this point, I mean, every poker player knows, every person who's ever played cards knows that you get to the final table, you're going for the W. You're going for the gusto. You're going for the win. You want the ring, the bracelet, the glory, the bragging rights, whatever it is. You want it. So we always understand that here, for sure.
Hugh's still in control, but keep in mind, I mean, even in control, he only has 20 big blinds.
Exactly, and that's in control here. Air quotations, right? I mean, it's rough.
This is easily a situation I've seen so many final tables like this where the chip leader has 20 big blinds, and you're thinking, well, he's a lock to finish in the top 3.
No.
And I've seen the short stack win and the chip leader out.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Things go sideways real quick when the stakes are this high and the blinds are at this level. I mean, that's good luck. I mean, you still have to be on point. You still have to be on your game, regardless of your chip lead.
Yeah, there's just not enough chips in play.
No, yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of luck involved at this point. I mean, that was a situation where Cross picks up ace queen. Just thought the hand was too strong to fold when she has 4 big blinds. I tend to agree.
I agree.
And she walked into kings. I mean, what are you going to do?
I mean, come on. Like, this level of the tournament, this late in the game, ace queen to kings, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
So MC now up to 1.5 million chips. He's currently second behind you. See low with ace deuce on the button. Yeah, this is an easy shove.
The last remaining lady at the table, actually.
Yeah.
3 women making the final table. Very super awesome. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, and the big blind's going to get a walk there, but I mean, low with 9 big blinds with an ace in the button, you can just shove that because you likely have, I mean, you're just going to have the best hand there so often, and you're not going to get called.
Yeah, just ship it and on with the next one, right?
And picking up those blinds and antes is just too valuable at that point. Once again, we are at Stones Live. I got to tell you, you guys have done a great job. I mean, I remember coming up here a few years ago, and when it was just starting out, and the poker room has always been great, but the way this show has grown and continued to grow and get better and better, I got to tip my hat to you guys. You guys do a great job.
Hey, thanks, man. I feel it's really been a solid progression. If you look at our video archive, I think we have it on YouTube there. Over time, it definitely started out with like, oh, it's just a couple people like streaming their mom's basement, hanging out, and now it's really like production value has really solidly gone up, and I see a lot of similarities with some of the upper end poker streams as well, with a lot of the little intricacies that they do. And
right.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be part of Stones Live, man. I have a lot of fun here. Absolutely.
Wilton's all in here. Andy calls. That's blind on blind. And by the way, I like the play by Wilton, and I like the play by Andy. Wilton's going to shove there, and I like the play. He's just not going to get called very often.
He's going to get called almost never. It just so happens that Andy wakes up with the beast.
Well, and also that he's dominated. I mean, they got really unlucky. I mean, what if Andy has ace-jack here?
Exactly. Oof.
Ace-10-10. Wilton looking for a 4 or some diamonds. Another ace is not going to help him, but it is a diamond. Wilton looking for a diamond here. Nope, not going to happen. King-Queen is going to hold up here. As always is the case in Hold'em, it's your best 5 cards. So both players with 2 pair, Andy with the king. Wilton looking on the river there. Obviously the 4 was no good, but he could have caught a diamond. And just like that, Wilton doubles up. I'm sorry, Wilton doubles up Andy, and Wilton now on life support, so to speak.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. Wilton was like almost free rolling with 1 million chips, and now hurting.
Yeah, it's just That's what I was saying. I mean, when there's only 70 big blinds in play, there's just no such thing as free rolling.
At this level, guys, it's not going to get any cheaper. I mean, blinds are 40K, 80K now with a 10K ante. In 9 minutes and 45 seconds, I would assume they're probably going to go up to
6120 or 5100.
Well, even as 5100, I mean, still, relatively speaking, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. I mean, it's game time.
Well, at 5100, we'll have 54 big blinds in play total.
Yeah. Well, if it's 6120, we're in a whole lot of trouble.
Well, either way, Andy, being patient, doubles up now. All these players guaranteed $1,800. Next pay jump is up to $2,600. I gotta tell you, every time I come up to Sacramento gets a bad rap. You know?
Thank you.
Being in California, I mean, I'm from New York, but being in California, I think when people think of California, they think LA, San Diego, San Fran, and all these wonderful cities, and not to take anything away from those cities, but I think nobody thinks of California and thinks, oh, what a cool city Sacramento is.
Sacramento, man, all day.
But no, I mean, listen, I mean, in all fairness, when I come up here, it's a really cool city. The vibe up here is kind of sweet.
We like to keep it cool here, man. Hey,
It's chill.
We're the state's capital for a reason, man.
Well, no, that means nothing.
No,
okay?
no.
That means nothing. Listen, I'm from New York. Albany is the state capital of New York, and
Fair
Albany
enough.
is an
Hats
armpit.
off. Hats
okay,
off. Hats off.
Albany is literally the armpit of New York. Okay, so
This isn't Bakersfield, California.
state capital means nothing.
Okay.
But that said, Sacramento is actually a pretty cool city. I remember the first time I came up here, and they said, okay, Sacramento doesn't have much, but it's close to San Fran and it's close to Tahoe.
Yeah, it's 2 hours to everything, for sure.
But it does have. I mean, I hung out in like downtown Sac, and it was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and actually, it's funny because like I went downtown. There was this whole comedian actually doing this entire skit about, well, you know, I'm new to town. I went to Old Town Sacramento, and it's called Old Sac.
Right.
Well, there's so many good jokes about any random place called Old Sac as a whole. So I mean, you gotta love Sacramento.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, you gotta love Sacramento. Always good times.
See right there, low hanging fruit.
That's it. I
Old
see
Sac.
extra low hanging.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very solid. Hey, cheers. Stone's water.
Speaking of low hanging fruit, so it was actually really scary. I was, I don't know why. Oh yeah. So my parents recently came out. So you just spent some time with their grandson.
Yeah,
okay, and
absolutely.
everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were gonna go. My father wanted to take my son swimming. So we're in his hotel room. We got it all in here. And looks like MC is called here. He does have live cards, 8-4 versus King Jack. So Wilton picks it up.
Oh, gets it.
MC folds. Okay.
That's best case scenario for Wilton there. Yeah.
So we're in, fortunate now, our short stack with 4 bigs. So we're in my dad's hotel room, and it's like, okay, let's put our, bathing suits on. And, my dad's now, he's in his 70s, and, so he takes off his clothes to put his bathing suit on.
Well, yes, go on.
I was just saying, speaking of low-hanging fruit. There you go.
I was like, where's the kitty comment? Like, hey, what's up with that? Hey.
Yeah, no, that was it. I was like, wow.
Definitely low hanging fruit. For
Yeah.
sure. Citrus Heights, the armpit of Sac. Oh, come on. Citrus Heights, not that bad.
Pizza Over Quad says, how are the women in Sacramento?
They're alive. They have a pulse. They're pretty solid, actually. Pretty solid.
I've hung out in downtown Sac a couple of nights, and I'm not gonna come out and say it's LA.
Which, if we didn't get the stream working, which is probably where we'd be right now, was actually downtown Sacramento hanging out.
For sure.
If the stream wasn't on, so
Not even a question.
Yeah.
Those of you who know me know that I like my beer. I would have been into at least like number 3 or number 4.
Well, go explore the city you're in, man. I mean, it's super solid. So, speaking of exploring, MC
Good
here
play by MC
shipping
here.
it. Yeah,
I like
with
it.
King Jack from the small day here. And, yeah, obviously...
He can actually ship really wide, too.
Yeah, ship huge. King Jack was way more than enough for him to ship there. Yeah, like, almost too much.
So Hugh and MC have more than half the chips in play by a lot. As you can see, they have 37 of the big blinds. Blinds still 40-80 for just a few minutes, 5 minutes here.
Super glad to see Lowe's still in it, just grinding. I love it. Every time...
Are you really like pro women?
Well, just every time... No, but just every time you see her here in a tournament, she just... I feel like she plays at like 110% of like everybody else's game all day, every day. She's just like she has something she just has something to prove, and she just goes like every time. Like she's never in there. She's never just airballing with nothing where somebody's like, she's like, nice call. Like she always has a beast.
I only mentioned it because you mentioned there were 3 women at the final table, and a lot of people always try to make mention of the women at the table, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But this summer when I was working the World Series of Poker, I remember talking to the producers during the main event because they always do last woman standing.
Yeah.
And I'm here to say that I think it's about time.
We don't have to do that anymore.
I kind of find it demeaning.
I feel you.
Like,
I get it.
There's no why are we
signaling that out? What I ever say like
listen.
whatever.
Pardon my language.
Yeah, no.
Who gives a shit that do you come out and tell me, oh, this is the last 70-year-old standing?
Yeah, whatever. The last this ethnicity ethnicity standing. Nobody cares.
Last Pakistani standing.
Yeah, no, it's super solid.
Last former dealer standing. I mean, at what
Yeah.
point do you just say, look whatever? Why are we signaling?
Yeah,
listen, women are really good at poker. We don't need to signal them out for their accomplishments in this game.
Absolutely true. I 100% agree.
I don't know, it's just my thought.
I mean, I get where they're coming from, and it's kind of like,
I
oh
get
my
it
god,
too.
look, how many more women are playing poker, because it was always generally a male-dominated thing. But at the end of the day, you're right. I mean, it is. I'm just happy. I'm happy that we're at where we're at with that. Like, there are so many more women playing, and that's cool, and we'll leave it at that. You know what I mean?
I guess that's the point. And then, somebody asked about what about an all-women tournament. I've heard different discussions about that. I don't have a problem with it because I think it does introduce the game to some women, to some people who. Wow, we got a call from MC from the cutoff. But MC calls with Ace Jack. This is a bizarre play. He was not going to let him see a flop, that's for sure. We know that. There's no way he was going to let him see a flop. Justin's being talked to by our technical team. Can they not hear us?
No, they're good.
We're
They
good?
can hear us.
More on the women thing in a second. So MC, wow. This is a really bizarre play. So MC in the cutoff with what is a really strong hand. And I think we have an all-in a call here with the two chip leaders.
Oh, wow.
ICM Schmeishmeem, I don't care what it is. MC says, let's gamble. And this is chip leader 1 versus chip leader 2. This is an enormous pot, 3.1 million
Which is
chips.
the only other person you don't want to get involved with at this point in the game.
60% of the chips in play are in this hand. Oh my gosh,
God.
what a flop here. MC needs a diamond or an ace.
Holy jeez. Look, you see that grin on his face, too? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Ace
Hugh
or a
has
diamond.
MC covered by just a little bit.
Such a huge pot.
Diamond ball. No. And Hugh knocks out MC in a monster pot.
This is insanely huge for Hugh. This is almost basically a game ender here, man. This is solid. Look at that.
Dude, do you realize how big it is for the guy? There's two players here who had under 5 big blinds. They both laddered up.
Yeah.
Because the guy second in chips is now out.
And this is exactly what we talked about earlier. Exactly what we talked about. You're like, oh my God, how did this happen? And this is, you see this all too often too, with the large stacks battling just out of nowhere, essentially, and the smaller guys laddering up. It's huge.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. So all these players now guaranteed 26. They're going to count it out, but we can tell you that MC is all in and out the door. He'll finish in 6th place, takes home $1,800, and then there were 5. So back to my conversation about the women.
Talk to me.
Very quickly. I don't have it. I've talked to some women about this, and some women are very anti-ladies tournaments. Some women are totally cool with it.
Yeah, they're like, keep it all the same, doesn't matter. Right, okay.
I don't really have a strong opinion on it, but I don't have a problem with it if there are women out there that want to play more and feel a little bit intimidated, so they want to jump into it. I don't think it hurts anything. And I could be totally naive on that, okay? But I think when when we're talking about an open tournament, which is the main event of the World Series, or this tournament here, I think celebrating a woman's accomplishment more so than you would any other demographic.
But it's in that demeaning category, yeah?
It just now I think it's impressive if a woman makes a final table at the main event simply because the percentage would dictate that they wouldn't.
Hands down, yeah. Percentage for almost anybody making the final table of the main event. I know, but I get you though. I get you.
But anyway,
yeah,
that's my
You're like a subset of a subset. I feel you. Yeah.
Boydoin Shad says, dude, shut up about the women. He doesn't like this, okay? He doesn't like the women chat.
Doesn't like.
Wow, what a play, though. It was just a thought, like I said, because it's something we always, like, oh my God, wow, cool.
And I think, and again, it's no, it just comes down to there's always been a much smaller percentage of women playing the game than there has men. And so when you have a subset of a subset, it's always nice to see them do super well.
And I talked to Maria Ho about it this summer, actually. She was just like, yeah, she was like, I think she was the last woman standing at the World Series like 4 times.
Yeah.
She's just like, okay.
Yeah, she didn't really care. Yeah, she was like, whatever. I mean, I didn't win.
I'm happy I got in there. Ace 8 versus Ace 4 here. Yeah. Neither player with a ton of chips, obviously. Wilton, the player at risk. This could be chopped up.
Yeah. Very close here.
But it's not going to. With a King 7 deuce flop, though, it's probably not going to.
Now, Lowe's still in the lead.
And continues to submit. Oh, a 7 or deuce
now
chops
it gives more chop potential, possibly.
Yep. 7 or deuce chops it. 4 wins it for Wilton. That's not going to be there, and ace-8's going to...
Ace-8 high. It's going to take it down.
I think Wilton's out.
That will eliminate Wilton.
Yeah, Wilton's got him 5th.
And that's exactly kind of what we were talking about earlier there. Wilton was almost free rolling there.
He was chip leader.
Yeah.
Coming
into this stream, he was chip leader. And Wilton almost free rolling some calls there for like 3-way all-ins earlier. And now will find himself in a 5th place elimination. Solid run for Wilton, though. He will take home $2,600.
Yeah, I mean, he did nothing wrong. It's just, it's a situation when there aren't that many chips in play. You lose a couple of pots, and suddenly you find yourself out. So 4 players remain. Hugh, with more than 60% of the chips in play, we'll see how this will continue.
And the blinds are up now, guys. 50,000, 100,000 with a 10K ante. It is not cheap to play here.
Yeah, that means there's 54 big blinds in play. Prime Form asking why the stream is so late.
They couldn't bust out people sooner.
Yeah.
That's not our fault, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to say the technical difficulties caused the late tournament, but no, that's just they're still playing.
Absolutely, guys. And that actually is what I love. So when you get in a tournament, you think, oh, yeah, man, I'm going to play a tournament. I'm going to play these tournaments all day. This is what you're getting into. We started, what, at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. this morning? What time we start, right? Okay, so now we're, what, 14, 15, 16 hours into the stream? Or into this tournament, and this is what you get. This is final table. If you want to go deep and you want to go final table, be ready to play all day, every day. This is poker.
Now, going back to the ace-jack versus jack's hand, if MC plays that hand a little bit more straightforward and just raises and then shoves and then folds to a shove, that's probably a more optimal way to play that hand than limp, have your opponent shove, and then have your opponent raise, and then you reshove over the top of him. I mean, he definitely showed more strength, but the last thing you want to do at this point of the tournament is get involved with the. I mean, if you're second in chips and you're 6-handed, the last thing you want to do is get involved with the chip leader, the one person at the table that can knock you out when you have a hand like ace-jack.
Yeah.
Now, if he had ace-king, a little bit different. Obviously, he's got ace-king. He's got to have to go with it. If he had 10s even, but ace-jack, I just don't want to lose my. I don't want to get knocked out by the chip leader with
the
ace-jack.
parking lot hand for a reason. But back on here, Fortunate does ship it with King 6 suited here, and he does make the call with Queen 9 off. Obviously for Fortunate's tournament life here. Oh my God, lots of kings for Fortunate.
Yeah, Andy looking for
crap.
a 10.
Yeah.
A 10 would eliminate Fortunate, and then of course he could fill up again. 10 now would eliminate him, otherwise Fortunate doubles up to 840, and Andy's down to 710.
Wow,
Full house.
Wow, monster hand here for Fortunate. He is going to double through Andy. Fortunate's like, yeah, feel good, yeah.
Apple 322 says, "What's the buy-in?" Buy-in is actually it was varied. It's actually a pretty cool tournament.
Scaling buy-in, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll tell you really quick. So it was there. It is.
There it is. Right
so if you came in at 10 in the morning to 11 in the morning, the buy-in was 120, and you got 10,000 chips for that. If you came in between 11 and 12, the buy-in was 220, and you got 20,000 chips. If you came in between 12:10 and 1:10, the buy-in was 350, you got 35,000 chips. And if you bought in between 1:10 and 2:20, the buy-in was 550. The guarantee in this tournament, 45,000, which of course we shattered. That's what we do here at Stones.
It's very true.
And it was a re-entry. So, I mean, back to Valerie Cross, she entered in the 220 level, got eliminated, then rebought for the 550 level, and made it to the final table.
And it's funny because last time we ran this tournament, I bought in for the smallest level. Again, went all in, like either go big or go home style, and then bought in for the largest level again. And so it's weird.
Did you make the final table also?
In this tournament, no, but I actually made the final 2 tables, very close. But at the end of the day, it's funny because in this tournament, you have I've seen a lot of like bigger, players who are accustomed to bigger buy-ins. Just only buying at the 550. I've seen a lot of players who are even accustomed to the bigger buy-ins, buying at the smaller one just to go to the bigger one. There's a variety of strategies that players take in this tournament. It makes it a lot of fun. It really does.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the nice thing about it is the first couple of levels almost play like a satellite into a bigger tournament.
Absolutely.
So if your bankroll is smaller,
yeah,
you can still play a tournament like this, which is great. And if you don't have that much time and you want to sleep in on a Saturday, Well, then great. Sleep in and come. You can show up at 1 o'clock and buy it for $5.50.
And that's what I feel like. I feel like if you can actually roll your original super small buy in the 120 into this final table, I feel like you free roll, like almost free roll satellited into this tournament at this point. You're like,
sure.
all these other guys bought in for 300, 500, et cetera, and I mean even bottom pay scale is already looking like pretty solid for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So 4 players remain out of a starting field of 230. Again, the prize pool just under $50,000. Blinds are 50,000, 100,000. Hugh with just a huge chip lead. I mean, anything but a win at this point would be disappointing for the man that we're seeing in the center of our screen.
And Hugh's a beast. I mean, this is not the first time. If you've ever watched Stones live before, it's not the first time you've seen Hugh at the final table. This guy knows what he's doing. Very experienced player. Very solid tournament player.
Hugh's all in. Andy
Oh,
all
wow. Look at this.
in. And this is a pretty standard spot. I mean, Hugh, I like the play by Hugh.
And Low waking up with King Jack, like, really? Why do I get this here? Just get it away from me. I don't even want to be involved.
And Andy with just 6 big blinds. This is a no-brainer hand. Looking for the double up. Pot is 1.5 million. Hugh has 2 live suits, and of course looking for a jack.
I call that, I have 2 different flush draws. Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you very much.
You very much do.
That's all I got. Oof. King
Still got a flush draw.
here. Yeah, that's it. Look for.
How about a 10 of hearts for a sweat?
Oh, super. Oh,
Ooh.
that's almost as good. Almost as
That's
good.
a really big sweat card there. Look at his outs here. 13
Yeah.
outs for you. That's not one of them, though. 7 of spades in the river, and Andy doubles up to 1.5 million.
We call that a victim of too many outs. Don't give me too many outs. Just give me a few. Too many outs, I won't hit.
What's up, Poker Pro Eric? How are you, man? Great structure. Yeah, I actually like this. It's a little bit different, and it is fun. I agree with you. Tomorrow we have more different and more fun. Tomorrow we have the Assassin's Bounty. Just very quickly, the cool thing about this is when you win the bounty, when you would knock out somebody else, you have a choice. You can either take $100,
Okay.
or you can add chips to your stack.
Now, God, I don't know. Maybe JFK.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe JFK Stones could chime in. Do you have to pick it right then, or is it?
Yeah, it's
oh, you
pretty
do?
much you have to choose right there.
You're like, damn. Right now? Right now? Is that
Right, here it is. So players can choose to either trade in the bounty that has been won between hands
Okay.
for 5 big blinds added to your stack, or an additional 50% of your stack
Okay,
added
so
to
it's
your
a
stack.
guaranteed
whichever is more.
Or
Maximum of 10 big blinds.
Oh wow! Ooh, this sounds fun.
Or you can just take the $100.
Wow, super solid.
So
We say that's
nice
tomorrow,
little
but really,
twist.
guys, that's in about 8 hours. So if you're gonna be here in 8 hours, we're gonna be hanging out. It's almost 2 a.m. here. We're gonna be rolling.
seriously.
10 a.m. start date. That's how we do it here at Stones Live. It's poker 24/7. You guys asked for it. We brought it to you. That's how we do it.
Well, games are great here.
So what I mean,
I play
guys,
cash games all day.
It's almost 2 a.m. There's what? Still 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 cash games running outside of the final table. I mean, God, Stones. What else can you say? Full menu, 24 hours a day. Come on down to Stones. If you haven't been here,
Actually
what
been
are you
great.
waiting for? Yeah.
I got here, I flew in this morning, had lunch with Veronica,
The one and only V-Bro, yeah.
right, with a little bit of Polish Brill. What's up, Poker Pro? And then I came to Stones and played cash games all day.
Yeah.
Got into some really interesting spots. Got a raise here from Andy. Fortunate moves all in. I don't think I think these players they think they're deeper than they are. I mean, you got 11 bigs. Just shove. Well, and I'd rather just shove than just raise, call off.
Who got 9th place? 9th place actually
Carrie.
was Carrie. Carrie got 9th place today.
So ace queen versus ace 10. The better hand once again at risk. Ooh, not a bad flop here. Andy looking for an 8, a 10, running hearts.
Ace 10 with a little bit of life here.
A little heart ball. Still an 8, a 10.
Oof.
7 of hearts and the ace queen. So short stack once again doubles up. And Andy now back down to 8 big blinds. Fortunate up to 15 big blinds.
As you can see there, our dealer counting out plaques. The plaques are 25K. Guys, the lavender chips are 5K.
Apple saying poor Low getting so many above average hands in these bad positions. Hey, don't feel too bad for her. This is the magic of tournaments. See, in a cash game, you can't make money by folding.
Yeah, very
You can't.
true.
If
Very
you sit
true.
down in a cash game and you fold, you will lose your blinds, you'll lose your antes if there's antes, and you won't win. You have to actually play hands to win money. But in a tournament, it's an interesting animal because you actually can make money by folding. I don't think Lo has played a hand this entire final table.
And she's already came up how much? I mean, we
Yet
were
she is
talking-
laddered up from 9th to a minimum of 4th.
laddered up a couple $1,000.
She will go home if she doesn't win a hand the rest of the night. She's going home with 3,600.
Done deal. Done deal.
So that's the wonderful thing. Sometimes the best thing is that you don't pick up a hand.
Just get out of the way, man.
Let everybody else get eliminated.
The snow plows coming down the street. If you just move, just move.
And frankly, I haven't really seen her. I mean, the only hand that I would have played differently than her is she had ace deuce on the button with 9 big blinds, and I probably shoved there.
Yeah.
That's the only hand I played differently. Otherwise, I think she's played really, really well.
Yeah, it's been on point. Yeah,
I give her credit. By the way, she I wouldn't imagine this. Apparently, she did one of those 23andMe things. Check out what her ethnicity was. Apparently, she's 95% Asian.
And she had no idea.
She had no idea.
Love it. Oh, shipping it.
I think we got another all in here.
We do. Is that Andy there?
It's Ace Jack versus 10-5. Oh wow, Hugh's got Ace Jack and Andy's got Ace Deuce and blind on blind. This is just unlucky by Andy for Andy. Ooh.
Oh, chop
Four
pot
chops it
potential there. Yeah, 4 would chop it with the ace high.
Neither player with a diamond in the hand. Oh, but a deuce could win it. A
No
deuce and Andy now could double
way.
up here. Needs the faded Jack.
He's a 4.
And he does.
He does. Wow.
Yeah, the 4
Woo.
still would have chopped it up though. Would have been interesting. But Andy doubles up, and that's another situation. A hand plays itself.
It
Both
is.
players,
It
you
is
got
what it
ace
is.
in the big blind, small blind.
Done. Battle of the blinds, 4-handed. This deep in the, I mean, that's what happens. End of story. This deep in the tournament, you're gonna ship it. Such is life.
It's funny thing is you have ace deuce, you see a flop of 7-7-4, and you're thinking, okay, baby, chop, come on, chop.
Yeah.
Deuce. Wait, I
Yeah.
want to win.
Oh my God, how does that happen? And the thing is, you're Andy there in the big blind with ace deuce. Hugh's gonna push on you with anything. You just hope he doesn't have an ace. He's gonna push on you with king, queen, jack, any sort of king 10, queen,
I don't think he's
jack.
gonna shove everything, but I mean, my guess is, if he knows the push shove charts, which I assume Hugh does, he's probably shoving 60 to 70% of his range.
Exactly.
Minimum.
And so you're thinking all right, cool. Ooh,
Oh,
I'm
an ace is
dominated.
just- oh, an
Oh
ace
my
is
God.
just crushing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I'm dominated. Oh wow, actually I have outs. Holy crap. Yeah.
So that's gonna knock Hugh down to about 2.5 million. He's still a chip leader, but that hurts a little bit. Had he won that hand, he would have had just an absolute lock on that.
Super cinch.
Hugh down to 1.7 million.
Just
funny,
towers of plaques over there.
So the rumors, are you the man that are you the behind the whole plaque thing?
I do love me some plaques.
Yeah.
I love me some plaques, man. They
Few
sound good.
raises.
They feel good. Actually, the last chip Amplifier played in, when you bought into that big level, you actually started with a few plaques. It just feels good. Fortunate with Kings. Gonna ship it and take this pot down.
Yeah, Hugh just trying to steal blinds and antes with 6 deuce. And you have to assume if he's raising with 6 deuce on the button, he's pretty much opening 100% on the button.
Yeah, Justin, our tournament director, made a joke that when they retire these plaques and they get different plaques or new plaques, that he's going to frame one of these. And I was like, I will take this frame. I'd be honored to have a framed plaque. I like these plaques, man. They feel good.
Are there new plaques in the works?
Maybe not right now. Actually, funny story. We actually had such a huge turnout for one of our recent tournaments that we ended up running out of chips, and so we had to keep some of the smaller chips that we normally chip up in play because we were physically out of chips. So we ordered I don't even know how many more umpteen plaques we ordered, but
Right.
yeah, exactly. First world problems again. How many more plaques do we need? Look how many plaques he has right there. I mean, it's huge.
So blind on blind here, and if you know how tight low is, you pretty much can shove almost any 2 there. See, she's just gonna fold that. You just gotta realize she's not gonna be calling with, if she's folding hands like King Jack, Queen 10, maybe even Ace Deuce. If she's folding those kind of hands, you can pretty much shove. And by the way, Fortunate is actually our chip leader now. That's how quick things change.
Yeah, and I love how that we had possible chop talks at 8-handed, but now it's 4-handed, and they're just going for it. Like, they're just like, no, we're going to play this, and I'm going to beat you.
I'm kind of surprised.
So am I. Actually, I thought this would have been over a long time ago. This is actually pretty solid. These guys are going for blood. They're going for the win.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for watching. We are just about approaching that 2 a.m. hour, and everybody's tuning in. We know you guys are diehard poker fans. We super appreciate it. If you haven't already, click that heart there at the top. Follow us here on Stone's Live Poker. We have a blast. We do this at least every Monday and Wednesday for cash fun, and then obviously nights like tonight.
It seems like it's on so much more than that.
I know, well, because when we have these big tournaments, I mean, how can we not stream this? Like, these guys going hard till 2 a.m., like, you deserve to be able to watch this. This is super solid.
Really, anybody's tournament at this point. Andy, Fortunate, Hugh, even Low with 9 big blinds. The short stack, if she were to double up, she's the big stack.
Yeah.
That's how fluid the situation is here at Stones. Blinds are 50,000, 100,000 for 12 more minutes. Then we'll hop up to 6120.
Even here, approaching this late hour, you see, got a railbird there, a couple of railbirds off to the side you can't even see. Everybody's definitely got an eye on this game here going on.
I believe Low has a whole fan base here.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? You're like, yeah. I'm gonna be here late.
Yeah.
Have you ever told somebody, oh, I'm gonna go play this tournament? They're like, great, I'll see you when we get home. You're like, hopefully I don't get home. Hopefully you don't see me, because it'll be a long, long time. I'll go super deep in this tournament.
That doesn't happen to me.
Yeah. I bust out very quickly.
I don't have those issues.
I'll be home. I'll make dinner. I'll be home in time for dinner. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't have those issues. Yeah, I wish I actually played more. It doesn't. Fortunate played really tight. Action folds around the Hugh in the small blind. He's all in. Another easy spot. It's just, I mean. I don't know if Andy's gonna call or not, but I think this is he's gonna let it go. I have my push shove charts in my phone.
Where's the push? Should I just go down the chart? Where are we at? This position, this hand. Definitely ship it.
I literally have here. Let me just see this here. I could show you.
It's like, where are these push shove charts?
I actually have them in here. What a poker nerd I am. I'll show you.
I respect that. Where is the next? The Jonathan Little. Is it the Jonathan Little push-up?
No,
push-up chart. I love it. I absolutely love it. Is that 10 big blinds or less left? Is that what it says?
I legitimately have. Yeah, this is 10 big
That's
blinds
so
left.
awesome. Speaking of push-shove charts, Low here under the gun with jacks, 4-handed. Gonna pump in a solid raise here. Blinds 50, 100 with a 10K Annie here. She's going to come in and make it 2.3x the big. Hugh's going to get out of the way. Andy folds as well. And Fortunate lets it go. Take it down. And even 4-handed, I mean, it's solid, man. What are you picking up? Like an extra, 180? Or 180K?
She adds like 20% to her stack, which is huge.
Time.
It's just unfortunate for her that she, the problem is she's so tight that it's hard for her to get action when she has a real hand.
Yeah. Look how close these stacks are. I mean, you saw 1.6, 1.6, 1.5, and 1.1. I mean, it's 11, 15, 16, and 16 bigs. I mean, that's welcome to final table hardcore shorthanded poker, guys. Blinds are way too high. They're standard for how long they've been playing. They're going on 14 hours plus now, at least.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I understand some people thinking, well, it's just a shove fest right now. This is what a one-day tournament is. If you want a tournament, some tournaments take 2 days, some take 3 days. If you want a tournament to end in 1 day, keep in mind, this is 14 hours later.
Yeah.
How long do you want these players to play
Yeah,
for?
230 players down to 4. I mean, how much longer do you want us to stretch it out? I mean, that's solid. That's a solid run.
Low continues to play tight.
And
Q now back in the chip lead, but really still anybody's tournament.
And a lot of these solid players adapt to. I mean, you know what it is. I mean, you got to adapt to the environment, the situation that you're in, and these players have obviously done an excellent job of that so far.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where, you know, you understand when you buy in for a tournament like this. Some people love one-day tournaments, and you know, it is a little bit more like a turbo. It's not quite a turbo, but it's a little bit more like one. That's okay. Some people love that.
Yeah.
You know, some people don't want to play. I know a lot of the people that come to Stones, they drive in from the Bay Area,
And
they want to be done in one
Yeah,
day.
they're trying to spend the night, yeah. White Kong in the chat, my brother from another mother out there in Vegas, what is going on? So the buy-in here, another guy asked what the buy-in, actually White Kong asked what the buy-in was. Started at $120 for 10K in chips, then escalated to $220 for 20K, $350 for 35K, and finally $550 for 60K. This chip amplifier, depending on what level you bought in at, you got more chips for your bag.
Oh wow, fortunately it's really tight. Oh my gosh.
Is that a ace-9, let it go?
Ace-9 suited, let it go. And this is the situation. Whoever's the first in the pot is generally winning because nobody wants to call light.
Exactly.
I mean, that's super tight.
Like, you hear a lot of players talk about, like, ace-10. It's just a random example. Or ace-10, like, I'd much rather be raising with ace-10 than calling your raise with ace-10. It's one of those things where, like, I'd rather beat you to the pot. And just
Well, it's any hand.
be aggressive. Of course, yeah.
When I first started playing tournaments, one of the first lessons I learned, and somebody, I saw it and I heard it, and then it made something. The second I saw it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. If you're the aggressor, if you're the one putting the chips in the pot, you have two ways to win the pot. Number one, your opponent can fold. Number two, your hand can win at showdown.
Sweet.
If you call, you only have one way to win.
Yeah.
Your hand has to win at showdown.
You have to be the best.
So, I mean, that's if I'm shoving.
I feel like I'm automatically doubling my odds by.
Well, you are. I mean, you basically are. I mean, think about it. If I shove, if you're folding right away, if you're folding 50% of your hands, that means half the time I'm going to win right then and there. Now, the other 50% of the time when you call me, sometimes I'm going to win, sometimes I'm going to lose. But if I call, then I have to win at showdown.
Yeah.
So you need, obviously, that's one of the reasons why you need a much bigger hand to call with than you do need to shove with.
And that's why I've seen some of these whole aggression pay things. Like, somebody might be like, oh, okay, I'm open-ended with a flush draw. Well, then they fire it, and you know all their opponents fold. They don't even need to hit their draw. Right. They just take down the pot. Like,
what's the power?
Aggression pays, man. You know.
You on the button here. He's gonna move all in, I believe.
I was like, he's spinning some plaques. He's got the wheels turning.
And he's just not gonna. He realizes that his opponents are playing too tight. They're not calling light enough, and he's gonna take advantage.
Fortunate show 7 deuce. Like, you're lucky. I had 7 deuce this one time. You're lucky.
I mean, we just saw Fortunate fold ace-9 though, so.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's folding hands strong as that, then you know. And now Hugh, by the way, who was the chip leader, went down to his lowest third in chips. He's back in the chip lead again.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, obviously, you don't see any of our players. I know a lot of you who are familiar with the stream, especially our cash game stream, see a lot of the players watching the stream while they're playing. Not here, not at this final table. It seems like everybody's really focused on the game. Nobody's, because they don't get the advantage of knowing how tight or light people are or are not calling at this point. And they're just playing by feel, man. They're doing their thing, and it's super solid. Super solid. And I actually see our viewer count actually increasing as we get a little bit later into the night. Thank you again, once again, everybody's tuning in. Very cool. Stones Live, the culmination of the chip amplifier here in the Stones Fall Classic.
What's up, Kevin Martin in the house? What's
up,
up, Kevin
Martin? What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's kind of funny at this point. This you could very easily make the argument that this level of poker has kind of been solved from a mathematical point of view.
Yeah.
It's severely short stacked, and really it's equation. You know, what's profitable, what's not. but he points out he has 6 shorthanded ICM spots. Really is. I mean, difference between 4th and 2nd is about $4,000.
Yeah.
Which $4,000 for most tournaments that we cover doesn't sound like a lot of money. Keep in mind though, some of these players were in this tournament for $120.
Exactly. So
You're talking that's almost like
35x their buy-in, right? That's like not a small amount, right?
Not at all. Yeah, blinds will go up to 6120 in 3 minutes.
And it's funny because I think you also see a difference in players who are in for 550 plus versus players who are in for like 120. Like, dude, like I want to ladder that all day. That's a huge.
Well, I don't
jump
think
for me.
it shouldn't change.
It shouldn't.
I mean, it doesn't. It shouldn't really change what you're. I mean, because you're still making money. But you could, yeah. I mean, you could definitely make the argument. You'd be like, well, it's only one buy-in, so I can gamble up a little bit more, as opposed to the player and go like, oh, this is 5 buy-ins for me.
Yeah, and I think that matters more towards the bottom. You're really looking to chip up and go deep, as opposed to just like whatever, give my money back, on to the next one type thing.
Andy opens. He 3-bets all in. Andy's gonna fold. Andy will Hollywood for a second before folding. Save a little bit of face.
Is that the good old, I know I'm going to fold, but I have to Hollywood it for a minute just to act like I have a decision, just let it go? One of those things.
Boyd and Chad says, blinds are way too high, or I'm way too high. Not sure which. Why are the two things, why can't they both be? Why can't the blinds be too high and you're way too high?
This is where they both have that little animation that says, why not both? Why not both?
Right.
Why not both?
Andy is not all in. Andy just raised and then folded to a 3-bet. And Hugh now up to 2.2 million. And you can see now nearly 40% of the chips in play in Hugh's stack.
Solid.
Keep in mind, remember, again, he had Ace Jack versus Andy's Ace Deuce. Andy doubled up there. If Hugh wins that pot, he has probably 4 million out of it.
Which we all thought would either be a lock or a chop, and somehow Ace Deuce ends up on top, right?
It happens, hey.
Yeah, that's it. Welcome to poker. Yeah.
Give Hugh credit for not self-destructing after that happened. A lot of players do.
It's all about keeping your composure. I mean, you really have to be able to separate yourself and segment, hands onto the next one. We've seen so many players with huge stacks go on tilt and just derail it all. You really have to, keep calm in these crazy
Andy gets a walk. Walk there. Low still our short stack with 9 big blinds. See if she makes a move here. She's been able to stay steady there. But the only problem with Low, and she plays a really good game, is if she plays this tight, it's going to be difficult for her to close.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure how much experience she has playing out final tables, and that's a unique skill set to learn.
Absolutely.
And for a lot of people, if you don't have a lot of experience doing it, it's hard to know.
Well, and that's one of the things we talked about is, there was possible talks of a chop at 8-handed. If all of these regular solid tournament players end up chopping at 3-handed, 4-handed, etc., they don't have that level of expertise when it really matters to close it out.
Right.
They can't win the 4-handed, 3-handed heads-up matches because they always chop. And so, it really works against you in that regard.
7 high flop, 2 spades out there. One of the very rare flops we've seen. This was just because it was blind on blind. And good spot for Fortunate there, who just puts out a little bit of a bet and takes it down. Fortunate now up to 14 bigs, Andy at 12 bigs. Low our short stack still with just under 1 million. Blind still 50,000, 100,000. No, sorry. They are up to 6120 now.
Ooh, with a 15K ante, very solid. Lots of solid chip shuffling going around, plaque shuffling, if you will, from player to player.
Are they? I've never actually had a plaque in my life. Are they hard to shuffle? Actually, I lied. I actually played a tournament here once where I had a plaque.
So they sound great. Well, did you have 2 plaques? Because
No.
they sound better when you ting them together.
I might have had 2, but you can't really shuffle 2. I mean, I didn't have enough to shuffle.
Oh, shuffling them is very difficult. That's why you just worry about building towers with them, as Hugh is doing here in C1.
Right.
He's building the tri-towers over there.
Our two tightest players in the blind here. Unfortunate. Wow.
Fortunate playing very tight from the small here, open fold. Kind of surprised he didn't just pop in a raise there. See, especially with how super tight low has been playing. Just
push.
How many plaques? Just throw a few plaques, all the plaques.
Dude, you're
some of the
10-6
plaques.
suited.
Just get it.
10-6. Yeah, you have to. Okay, again, going back to what I said. If he shoves 10-6 suited, how often is low gonna fold?
Oh, all the time.
No. How often?
She's gonna fold.
It's not all the time.
Well, no. But being the way that
How
I've
often?
80%, 90%.
Wow. Okay, that's even if she just folded 70%.
Yeah.
And then when he's called, he likely has equity. He still has equity.
Yeah.
But she's not gonna have jacks, queens, kings, or
I was
aces.
gonna say, and if she does call, you probably still have 2 live ones.
Right. Okay. She,
You know,
she called
yeah.
with ace king. She called with ace jack. She called
Yeah.
with king queen. I mean, but she's just gonna fold too often.
Yeah. And you know, I would say the majority of the players would be in that 60-70% range you were talking about. But especially with how tight we've seen low playing, even more so. That's why I went with the 80% range.
But no, I mean, whether it's 80%, whether it's
It doesn't matter. You gotta shove. You gotta ship it.
I mean, there are some hands you want to fold because when you get, I mean, if you shove 7 deuce offsuit and you get called, you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
But 10-6 suited is just too good a hand to let go.
Well, 4-handed all day, absolutely. With these
Blind
blinds,
on
this
blind,
level,
against
yeah,
a tight player
of
and a
course.
tight blind, yeah.
Done.
Phil Smash says Low's range is jacks are better. Well, if it's jacks are better, I mean, you can do the math really. There's 1,326 combinations of hold'em hands, guys. 1,326. Jacks are better is 24 hands. That's it. Because there are 6 combinations of jacks, 6 combinations of queens, 6 of kings, 6 of aces. That's 24 hands.
That's it.
Out of 1,326. Now, if you want to give her ace king also, which I'm going to go on a limb there,
Very nice of you. Solid.
that's another 16 hands. Okay? That's 40. Let's give her ace queen. That's 56.
Keep going. That's it.
I don't know. I mean, but even if I gave her 56 hands, if I gave
Out
her ace
of.
queen, ace king, jacks plus,
It's still
That's
just
just-
push all day.
it's just not nearly enough hands.
Well, fortunate
You
starting
actually, the
to
more
heed
I'm
your
thinking about
advice.
it, she might actually fold 90%. Because if maybe she calls with ace jack, which would get us up to like 72.
That's how we met in the middle. You were a little light. I thought it was a little high. So now we're
Maybe
like,
not.
We're
Maybe
right
no.
there. We're right there.
Actually, maybe it is 90%.
Solid.
You might be right.
Well, fortunate definitely embracing his king 10 here, pops it up and takes down the pot.
Poker Pro Eric says ace king suited is better than jacks.
Bold strategy.
I mean, I guess it's better in the sense that you are more often you're more often dominating your opponent.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The good old tournament coin flip gets rough. I mean, everybody has to do it.
I mean, I'll make you a deal. I mean, I'll take jacks and you can have ace king suited if you want to play that out.
We'll just run it how many
We'll just-
times? However many times you want.
Million
Just go.
times?
Yeah, just a million.
For $1 a hand?
Easy money.
Yeah.
Easy money. See what happens.
I'm going with
So
that.
whenever you got that like extra $100,000 you owe me, that'd be great.
We can play it out. Getting all in here from
Oh,
Andy.
there we go.
Yeah, and you wonder if Andy is Andy. You wonder
And
if
again,
Andy knew.
Fortune's got something like ace-7. He's just like he's gonna let it go all day. There's no way he's ever gonna get in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, if you can get your opponent to fold a hand as good as that, you really could be shoving super wide.
And now as it gets more down at crunch time with these sort of blinds, these four, and everybody's involved in every hand here, we're only 4-handed, these players are going to get much more adept to kind of ranges that each other is folding or playing. And I think that they're going to kind of start to exploit the low side / fortunate side of the table a little bit. We'll see.
Well, we've seen, I mean, and you wonder if these guys, maybe they're getting a text message from their buddies like, hey, they're playing really tight.
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, they're on a 20-minute delay, so they might only just be seeing this. Or not. Who knows? Hey, in all fairness, it doesn't take a genius to figure. If you're at the table and you're watching,
Absolutely.
you're watching
I mean,
like open fold.
These guys, honestly, they're at this level. We've seen a lot of these players at this level on the regular. I mean, these.
By the way,
yeah.
Fortunate just showed Low the ace and folded it. If Low knows that, and now
Yeah.
she does,
Thank you.
She
for
can
that.
exploit
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You picks up more chips, and you can just say, I mean, theoretically, there's 4 players at the table, right? So each player should win 25% of the pots. And I haven't done the math, but
No.
my guess is that Hugh and Andy are winning far more than that.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, the majority of these players have been deep in these tournaments. They understand the situation that they're in, and at the end of the day, they're picking up on what's going on. I mean, they don't need to see the cards to understand that. They don't need text messages from friends to realize where they're at and what's happening.
Now, guys, there are some small pairs, by the way, that are. I mean, like Jack 10 suited is a favorite over deuces, but Ace King is not a favorite over jacks.
Good old Jack 10 suited.
But again, to his point, though, and I think he makes a good point, is Ace King is going to dominate. When you get it all in, Ace King is going to have your opponent dominated a lot more often.
The majority.
Because your opponent's going to have a smaller ace or maybe King Queen occasionally.
Fortunate puts in a good
Poker
race
Pro
here.
Eric points out something really good, though. Ace King is ahead of Ace Queen, and you're right.
I love a good little chat battle back and forth here. Good old 2 a.m. chat battle. I'll show you what a coin flip is. I'm in. I like
2:02 in the morning.
it. I like it.
What's up, SD619HR?
SD619 in the house. Bod, Poker Pro Eric, I Want Techies, Phil Smash. Got a little bit of everybody in here going on. I love it.
I gotta tell you, I was kind of surprised.
Kevin, I love that Kevin Martin randomly chimes in. He's like, yeah, I'm hanging out. What's going on?
I gotta tell you, I was kind of surprised. So a lot of guys came up to me. I've been playing cash all day here, and a lot of guys came up to me and said hi. But I put it out there. I said, hey, if anybody wants me to buy him a beer, first round's on me.
Yeah.
And only one person. I only bought one beer today.
Well, it's convenient that you brought that up at 2:03 a.m. after last call.
I have been talking.
No
about
more
this
beers today on Tuck at all. But they were only good for last night, and now we've all missed out on it. So good talk. Yeah, we're actually we are doing a 4 a.m. breakfast on Tuck though. That is, we talked about that. The booth guys are looking forward to that 4 a.m. Tuckman breakfast.
You think will this still be going on at 4 in the morning?
Well, maybe. I figure they maybe make a heads up chop around 3:30. We get breakfast here at 4. Sounds about
I'd be
right.
shocked.
Not at that point. I think they're gonna play it. We'll see.
Oh my God. I mean, how many more levels can this go though?
That's the interesting part. I mean, is it just gonna
There
be
are
like the
very
small
few chips in play.
Small blinds half your stack, the big blinds all your stack? We'll find out.
I mean, as tight as Fortunate and lower playing, you never know. I mean, this is a shove. This is an easy shove.
I think
There it is.
Oh, there
There's
it
the
is.
shot.
There it is. There it is. I was like, can you really just come in for a raise here? I don't think you can.
This is a great, and this is gonna get through.
Absolutely.
This is huge for her.
Yep. I'll take it all day.
And she stays afloat. And she's back up to 1.2 million. Sonny says no deal yet. No deal. Poker Pro says 3:30 in the morning. Easy. I'm gonna take the under.
Take the end. It's still an hour and a
I
half.
have no inside
think-
information,
I know
guys.
exactly. No inside info. I think you're looking pretty
promise.
good still.
SD6 says last night was my birthday talk. Wish I got to the final table. Oh man, happy birthday anyway.
Happy birthday in the house.
I just think, I mean, we're gonna move up to what? 8160 in 20 minutes, and then 100 200. At 100 200, there's 27 big blinds in play total.
Oof.
I
Total. Like
Total.
total. It's not like, oh, I have 27 bigs. It's total in play, end of story.
Yeah,
That's intense.
I would have a hard time thinking this tournament goes longer than an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, like the all-in.
So I would take
showfest
the under on
instantly.
330. If anybody wants to bet me there, I will. We'll have to escrow, of course, unless I know you.
Put it in escrow for sure.
Unless I know you. If I know you, that's cool. I can't get. I can get free rolled otherwise.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's a call from Fortunate. By the way, this should have been a shove and a call, and instead it's gonna go a call, a shove, and then a shove, a raise by low, and now Fortunate's just gonna let it go. Where's he calling? Nah, he's gonna fold. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna let it go.
And so let me ask you this. Obviously, fortunate there shows the king and lets it go. Bad form.
I have no problem with it.
You're cool with that?
I
Is that just showing respect?
I
Now-
wouldn't. I mean, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it a ton unless.
Does that work towards your favor? So let's say you're fortunate here. You show the king, then you fold the low. Does that give you more power later when you ship it? That low is going to fold a slightly stronger hand because she's seen you fold things like that face up?
I mean, I don't want to crawl inside Lowe's head. I have no
I
idea
know.
what Lowe's thinking, but generally speaking, I think it's a bad idea to show that you're making big laydowns.
Yeah.
Because now Hugh and Andy can take advantage of that.
Fair enough.
I don't know if Lowe's.
So
is going
that's
to
the best part is that, like, that almost was a one-on-one thing, but now it's like you're giving the other two guys who had nothing to do with that pot information,
Right.
and that in itself is a bad sign.
Right. That's the problem. I mean, and Fortunate's got to be aware of the fact that he's already shown low that he folded an ace earlier on.
Exactly.
So it's like, if I'm low, I'm going, well,
Well, now I see full nays. I feel like you're not going to call me unless you have a beast at this point. So I feel like I should just ship on you almost all the time.
in theory, yeah.
Yeah. That whole theory thing, crazy. Science.
I mean, it's hard though. I mean, you shove every time you shove all in. There's always a chance your opponent wakes up with a big hand and you get knocked out. And nobody
that's
wants,
what it
you know,
is. Yeah.
nobody wants to be told to go home for the party. Mm-hmm. Like this is a shove by low. King 7 suited. But again, I mean, if she shoves, she gets called. And instead, she's going to call here. Hugh's going to raise, and the hand's going to be over.
Oh, Hugh just shifts it. And
Yeah.
Lowe says bye. It's like, do you call off your? You played this long. Do you call off your tournament life with King 7 suited? Never, ever, ever, ever.
Never.
Not even on a Tuesday. Toast.
So Hugh's still our chip leader with 18 bigs. Andy now our short stack with just 8 big blinds. He's Justin Kelly. I'm David Tuchman. He's Train. I'm Tuck. We are here at Stones Live. This is the chip amplifier, guys.
That's it.
Buy-in range from $120 all the way up to $550. 230 players. Prize pool nearly $50,000. Tomorrow, the Assassin's Bounty. Cool little twist on this one. Again, when you knock somebody out and you collect their bounty, you have a choice. Either take the $100 or add chips to your stack.
Which is super fun because that'll be the first tournament I play like that. I mean, think about it. Let's say you take chips 3 times and then you end up like just basically bluffing them off. Somebody else accumulates them. You're like, crap, I could have broke even, but instead I didn't. Damn it. I mean, it'll be fun. It'll be a real interesting dynamic.
I would imagine there are probably certain times. I would imagine the bounty is 1/3 of the buy-in. The buy-in is $300.
Yeah.
The bounty is $100.
You're thinking earlier when the blinds are smaller, you might not do
Well, you
that?
definitely wouldn't because
Well,
I
of
mean you're
course
only
you
getting
would.
5
Yeah.
big blinds. So early on, this makes no sense not to take the money.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe there is a point at some point of the tournament where the big blinds are more important.
Well, it's going to be funny because I think if it has to happen right then, you're going to have our tournament director or something, Justin, come up and say, okay, well, you either get this much or you get $100. And it's funny because every other player at the table is going to be chanting one way or the other to kind of like coerce you into something. It's going to be fun.
Well, I
It's
mean,
gonna be,
okay,
it's going to be a fun dynamic.
I'll put it this way. I'm sure at some point of the tournament it's going to turn.
Of course.
Early on in the tournament, you, from a mathematical point of view, you should 100% be taking the money.
Yeah, give me the $100 all day. All day.
At the final table, though, keep in mind it's 5 big blinds.
See, I didn't even come into this thinking about the final table in this aspect. That's insane.
At the final table, it's
Oh,
5 big blinds or
huge.
50% of your stack up to 10 big blinds.
That's huge.
And at the final table, the $100 is almost meaningless because the pay jumps are 1,000, 1,500,
Yeah.
2,000, 3,000.
Exactly.
So you'd rather pick up 8 big blinds at that point. At this point,
I was going to say, take these exact stacks, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
At this point, if you're Andy, you would much rather pick up, an extra 5 big blinds than an extra $100.
That's huge. Yeah. That's clutch. That could be game changing.
Phil Smash says announcers are drunk. I wish.
Please.
But unfortunately, no, we're not.
We're literally past last call. I assure you.
Andy's all in on the button. Pretty standard. Quick
Fold there by Fortune.
Yeah.
Over to low.
Neither player's going to call this. 10-9 suited's really pretty hand, but you can't call off of that.
Stack O plaques finds more plaques. So again, everybody stack. Hugh on the big stack here measured at 17 bigs, down to the small stack measured at 10 bigs.
Yeah, just about, just a tad under 50 big blinds in play, guys.
Uh, 10-6 off for Andy here under the gun. He's gonna let it go.
Kind of a bizarre day. It went from looking forward to doing this all day to didn't look like it was going to happen. And I got to tell you, this has been entertaining. And normally, I normally I'm not a big fan of like short stack final tables like this, but this is going to be kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, they're going to tell, like, nobody's really letting up. Nobody's kind of throwing up the white flag surrender yet. Everybody's really going for it here.
SD6 says, Tuchman, have you been to the remodel at the Bay 101 yet? Poker Pro Eric says it apparently opened yesterday. No, I have not been there anyway. I've only been to the Bay 101 one time, and that was for the Shooting Stars.
Yeah, Shooting Stars, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That was a lot of fun.
For like 10 minutes.
Go for it.
Just gonna go with the girls.
Go for it.
Huh?
So fortunate here with pocket threes under the gun, raises to 350K.
And this is another situation. Just I mean, if you're gonna play the hand, I just think it's shove.
It's gonna get through anyways.
It does,
in
yeah.
this case, yeah. But like, if you get re-shoved on, you're like,
You can't. You don't want to call
you
off.
can never call, right? I mean, so you either ship it and run into bad luck, or you know,
Right.
it is what it is.
Poker Pro Eric is he thinks it's gonna get to 1.53 million blinds.
That's some intense blinds. Over 10-4, she lets it go.
You got the
Hugh
button
up.
here?
Yeah, ace-9 for Hugh. Thinking about it for a minute. The good old stand, put the one knee on the chair, and looks like plaques are getting in.
Well, he's definitely gonna raise. The question if he moves all in here or just raises.
2 1/4 it looks like. Oh, 240K.
Unfortunately, it's gonna call this. So we'll see a little flop. We haven't seen many flops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pot is 600,000, 6-4 deuce. One hard out there.
All unders against both their hands here. And first unfortunate here, he checks. Hugh checks behind.
Ooh,
That's a
fortunate.
huge,
Yeah.
huge turn for fortunate here.
Fortunate looking for a 5, a heart, a king, or a 7, by the way. I mean, he picked up half the deck. You can see 14 outs now.
Yeah, world of outs there. The 2 great outs.
Check,
were-
check, and he hits the 5, so he makes the straight.
Fortunate, taking his time. Now this is interesting. This is one of those bets where clearly he bets more than half of his stack. Maybe this purple's there. It's about close.
He bet pot.
Yeah.
This is. I really don't even know what he was thinking about here.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
you're,
obviously, we're privy to some information that Hugh.
but
may not
but
be
even
privy
then,
to.
it's like the worst bluff catch ever. Like you can't do anything here. You just there's nothing for you to do here as Hugh.
I find it hard to believe that Fortunate has played as tight as he is, and then suddenly he's going to be like, well, I'm going to rep the 7.
I know. I'm gonna raise on you with what, king high, and your ace high is good here. There's no way. So Hugh obviously makes a solid lay down, and on to the next one. Once again, guys, you are watching Stones Live. We're here at the final tail end of our lovely chip amplifier tournament here. Part of the Stones Fall Classic Series going on. Sure, everybody watching here has already clicked that heart and turned it green there at the top of Twitch, but if you haven't, make sure you click it. Follow us. We're here with you every Monday and Wednesday, spewing cash games.
I have.
You have, and
I have.
as have I. Make sure you click those notifications, too, so you know when we actually go live here on these final tables for these events, because you never know when they're going to happen. I.e. tonight, we didn't go live till what, almost midnight? Solid.
Something like, yeah, it was like 12:30.
Yeah.
By the way, Lo got another walk. I mean, she actually had a decent hand there, King 10, but I am just amazed
That with
that
how
Andy
tight.
and Fortunate are allowing her to walk. It
Yeah.
walks.
They seem pretty. They seem pretty solid and observant and keen in that regard. And I think they would almost open up their range a little bit more to start putting more pressure on players like Lo.
Still 4 players remain out of a starting field of 230. There's the all-in from Andy. Fortunate folds the King 7. See if this one gets through. Lowe's not going to call. Hugh's not going to call this either. I don't think he's seriously considering, is he?
I don't really think so. I think he's just posturing a bit, hanging out, like, oh.
Wow, he makes the call.
He does make the call. Wow. Ooh, and clubs too. Clubs domination. Not what he wanted to see. Love a few live ones. Possibly no clubs there for Andy. Hugh.
Hugh's a really good player. I'm kind of surprised by that one.
Yeah.
I don't really understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a huge shove. I mean, I know it looks big because it's 990,000 chips. You're like, wow, so many chips. I mean, that's...
Queen 4, 9 spades. Obviously, no clubs. It doesn't matter. Deuce here on the turn. Leaves 5 outs remaining here for Hugh. 5 live outs. He's a Jack or 7 on the river. Otherwise, Andy will double, and it looks like Andy will double through.
I mean, from a math perspective, the shove was for just over 8 big blinds. So let's just call it 8 for argument's sake. You're looking at, and you're in the big blinds, so you're calling 7 big blinds to win about 10 and a half. 7 to win 10 and a half. I don't think you're quite getting the right price to call with Jack 7.
And this is exactly like, for instance, what Sunning 8644 saying here. Not really, didn't have to call. It cost him over 50% of his stack. It's kind of one of those things where, I mean, you know, and somebody else obviously chimed in and said, you know, like, I want to take, he said he's tired, you know. I mean, it's so easy to come in with a fresh, objective eye this late in the tournament. When you're these guys you've been playing for this long and this amount of time and just the solid grind they're on, I mean, you know, things happen, reads happen, and again, these guys have been playing together with each other so long. If they played, you know, sometimes you get that physical read off previous tables, previous experiences with that same player, and that causes you to make a different move than most would normally consider standard.
Yeah, the problem with Jack 7, specifically that hand,
And now Lowe gets aces. Look at that.
specifically Jack 7 as opposed to even like Queen Jack or Jack 10. Jack 10 suited is going to, first of all, it's going to play much better against your opponent's shoving range. Second of all, there's occasionally you're actually going to have your opponent dominated. If your opponent ever shoves 10-9 suited, 10-8 suited, hands like that.
Oh, you have them crushed.
You have them crushed.
Yeah.
Jack 7 is just never going to have your opponent crushed. And like I said, you're just not getting the right price. You're calling
true.
7 to win 10.
Yeah.
And it's just not quite the right price here.
So it looks like Andy does make the call to Lowe's raise here. King, Queen, 7 here, a couple of diamonds. Lowe way out in front with a super cinch on this hand. Oh, it's a dream scenario here. Andy firing out some chips to start.
Well, something's going on.
Oh, he looks maybe questioned. Let's see. Andy bets 245.
Okay, so he's going to do a little donk bet here. The kids call this a donk bet, right?
Yeah.
And I guess he's playing on the fact that the reason he called pre and then he does this, he just figures Lowe is a pretty straightforward player, and unless she has a king, at least a king or better,
She's never,
she might not continue. Now you're not folding ace jack or ace 10 here, but he probably thinks low is.
Oh, absolutely.
And low might fold 10s, low might fold 9s.
Yeah, but now low shipping here, I think, is
Obviously,
obviously. But even if Andy gets stronger than 5-3, I think that him seeing low ship there and the way that she's been playing is just such a sign of strength that she's gonna win that pot all day.
My assumption would be that he was putting it out there thinking she's not gonna make a move.
Yeah, unless she has a monster.
And it's not even a monster, a king, top pair.
Yeah, exactly.
And
well, in Low's mind, though, I mean, in your
it's
mind against
hard-
Low, yeah.
It's hard to flop top pair. And if she doesn't have top pair, I can win the pot here. So it's probably what his thinking was. And you can see that another reason, by the way, you saw that last chip count. Another reason why you can't call with Jack 7 getting that price was if there were a lot more chips in play and you had 80 big blinds and it was, 5% of his stack, maybe you could look at it and go, well, maybe it's close. But it was half his stack, and now he's got 6 big blinds.
Yeah,
and he's in danger of being knocked out in 4th.
I like Poker Pro Eric's comment here. Low's range is ace or better. Straight up. So that's my range. I have aces, ace king. That's it. It's the only range I play.
Now, I want Techie says that actually Low actually limped, which might be the case.
Did she limp?
Well, I didn't think she did, but I'm thinking about it. The blinds are 120. Yeah, I think she probably did because there's only like 345 in there.
Okay.
So
that makes
my
sense.
apologies. We actually missed
So
that.
that's even better that he would donk bet that because of course why would you not bet that king queen flop? You're like she doesn't have it, especially being that she.
Well, you
limped.
assume right. You
Yeah,
assume she actually doesn't have that many kings or queens in
Yeah,
her range.
absolutely. So Hugh here under the gun with ace-6 suited.
Thanks for the catch there. I want Techies. I appreciate that, guys.
Our late night guys chiming in, keeping us on point. I like it. Hugh ships it here for a little over 800K.
Yeah, this is just like 6 big blinds. Wow. Queen 10 in the muck. It looks like everybody's going to fold. And look at this. He just added like 25% to his stack by doing that.
God. They have been doing a super solid chip shuffle. Look at that. The difference between first and last place currently here, 15
Nothing.
bigs versus 8 bigs. It's essentially double.
Yeah.
Between last and first, four-handed. Stones Live, guys. Culmination of the classic fall Stones chip amplifier here. Started with a minimum of a $120 buy-in all the way up to a maximum of $550, assuming you did not re-enter.
By the way, in 1 minute and 16 seconds, 14, 13, as you can see, the countdown, blinds will be 8160, which means there will be just a tad over 30 big blinds in play. Four-handed.
Solid.
That's
That is
crazy.
some
short stack.
How are they still playing? You're like, why haven't they chopped? Why hasn't it just been all in Bash Fest yet? Like, I mean, these guys are really, really going for it.
We're seeing
And
flops still,
you
which is
gotta
amazing.
respect it. Yeah. Normally, it's everybody's like one guy all ins, everybody else folds. Like that's how it goes at this
Right.
point. And I can't believe we're actually still seeing boards, turns, rivers. Fuck66 asks, when's the next Win the Button tournament?
That's a great concept.
I was
by
gonna
the
say
way.
that's a great question in general. I can
Fuck
tell
ask
you right
Christ.
now, there's gonna be another one.
That was a great
It
tournament.
was absolutely fantastic. And shouts out to our booth guys who actually were able to do that graphically. Very impressive.
All in a call here, Queen Jack versus tens. And it is Hugh, whose tournament life is on the line. And he got pretty unlucky here. The fact that his opponent has 2 overs, because he's got a monster. I mean, he's got
Yeah, of
pocket
course, of
tens.
course.
Absolute monster. He got really unlucky that his opponent actually has 2 overs. It doesn't have like ace 8,
Of course.
pocket 8s, and there's your jack.
Oh, Binks hit.
Yeah, so Hugh looking for
Running Queen King or a 10?
or a 10. And now just a 10, 2 outer,
10 only.
where Hugh will be gone in 4th place. That, my friends, is not a 10. Deuce of spades on the river, and Hugh gone in 4th place. He'll take home $3,600 for his efforts, and we are down to 3.
Solid. The final 3 here, right before going into the next blind round. Hugh, what a solid run by Hugh. It's not the first time you've seen him here, guys, on Stones. It definitely will not be the last. Hugh, absolute beast mode run, buddy. And, yeah, always a pleasure, man. We'll see you soon. Super solid. Not a bad day's worth of work, though. $3,600. But now, you talk about pay jumps. Now we're getting big. Now we're going to 5,200, 7,500, 12K.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the difference between 2nd and 3rd is $2,300. or almost 20 almost 20
Yeah.
buy-ins.
Yeah. So almost $2,300, which was essentially the fifth place payout.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's huge.
Anyway, they're going to count this out. Obviously, Hugh is out. Andy now will have 2.8 million. And that's just, a little bit of luck there. Wait, does Hugh still have chips?
Maybe he's got a couple, so our chip counts might be a little bit skewed here, but looks like Hugh is still in. He's got enough for a couple hands for sure.
He's got like what, 2 bigs?
Yeah.
2 bigs. Get 300 and I'm gonna say 320,000.
Poor Hugh, it doesn't even show him on our chip count. You know what? Forget our chip count. Hugh's the man. He's still in. He's not finished 4th yet.
Yeah. He has 2 bigs though.
SD619 says, anything good happening on Poker Go, Tuchman? I think lots of good stuff's happening on Poker Go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I remember when PokerGo first started, I was a little bit like, what is this thing?
Yeah,
Subscription, da da da. But I mean, I know the guys who are doing the production. It's Poker Productions, Maury and Maury Escandani and that group that's done High Stakes and Poker After Dark. And,
So
and
this
I gotta,
isn't their first rodeo. They've
no,
done.
and I gotta
this,
give
yeah.
them. I gotta give the PokerGo guys credit. They have continued to put out top-notch content.
100% agreed.
And as far as I'm concerned, it is well worth the small price that
All
you're
day.
paying. $9.99 a month to me is
All day.
nothing for what they. I mean,
There
'cause at the end of the
was-
day, we got used to watching for free,
Yeah.
but in this day and age, to fund it, it's very difficult.
You-
The sponsors aren't there, so if you want to watch really great content, you got to pay. Now, hey, listen.
If you enjoy poker at all, dude, $10. What's $10, man? I mean, come on, dude. At the end of the day, I mean, what? Your Netflix?
I spend
Who
more when I go to
cares?
Starbucks one day.
Who cares, man? That's like less than one random lunch meal out, dude. It's honestly, it's what I felt the
But
same
no,
originally.
they put a lot of good stuff out there. Honestly, I give Poker Pro. Whoa,
100% agree.
We got 3-way all in here.
Oh, 7's good for Hugh.
That's
for
sick.
Life Force.
He can triple
for
up
Life
here.
Force.
He's all in before 425. He can triple up like to 1.2 million. Has to fade a king.
Oh my God, this is huge for Hugh.
But by the way, Fortunate will win a huge pot off Andy unless a 4 comes off, and he does. So this
Oh
is
my
interesting.
God, this is
So
huge.
Hugh is going to triple up to like 1.2 million, 1.3 as you can see. Fortunate's going to actually win money here. He'll be at 2.7. Andy, what a change here. He's down to 995,000.
That was a complete game changer. That one hand,
Oh my God.
huge game changer. Huge game changer. So yeah,
That's
one
insane.
last time, touch base on the Poker Go. Totally agreed. In the beginning, I'm like, subscription. I don't want to pay you any money. And then I saw the actual stuff that they were producing, the content that I was watching, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a bargain. It's
Well,
a
I mean-
bargain
I
all
mean,
day. It's great.
This
It's great.
summer, they kicked it off at the Super High Roller Bowl. Then obviously the coverage all this summer at the World Series. And obviously, Stone's Lon McCarron, and
Yeah.
that was fantastic, and Norman Chad, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But then right after that, they do that with then Poker After Dark. Then they have the Poker Masters.
They didn't
now
stop.
they're doing final tables of WPT.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's great.
Like I said, I tip my hat to them. I think they're doing a great job.
Well, obviously, I mean, I saw you out. I
really
saw
have
you
a
when I
hat,
went out
guys.
there. Well, I saw you when I went out there. Went out there for the World Series, played a little bit, and it was great because like I felt like I came home, and even though I was back home here in Sacramento, I was still able to watch and enjoy everything that was going on there because there was so much coverage between the two. It was
Well, it's kind of
absolutely great. Yeah.
I actually feel like. Are we in a poker boom? No, obviously not. It's not 2005 anymore. But I feel when it comes to the content, we are kind of in this like golden little. We're in this kind of this like golden little egg of like great spot where
well,
on
technology.
every but I mean between what you guys do here at Stones, Mondays and Wednesdays, and then
Yeah.
obviously various tournaments, and between the other great channels. I mean Kevin Martin, who's been on, the other great
Absolutely.
channels on Twitch,
Yeah.
where I can watch on a daily basis. I feel like if I want to watch poker every single day, there's something always on,
Absolutely.
and it's good, and the content is so much better than it used to be.
I 100% agree with you. It's crazy.
Despite the Veronica Brills of the world.
Well, because it's funny because at the end of the day, you only really used to have like that late night ESPN, random ESPN 2, 3, ESPN 8, the Ocho to watch poker, and that was it.
Right.
And now you have like, dude, just go on Twitch and it's just like, boom, done. Like in your face. If it's not live, it's streaming recasts of live or damn close to like classic content. All right. Anyways, back to All In Fun Time.
But this is what I mean. In all fairness, might not be the most exciting thing, but this is kind of what you expect when nobody has any chips.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Hugh's all in here, and Hugh might get eliminated.
Oh,
And he is.
That's it.
Hugh's out. Hugh, by the way, just lost 2 races. If he wins those races, he's doing great.
that's it. And now you get somebody like Fortune, who's been super tight.
He's at 4.9.
Climbing, the master chip leader over here now.
So as I insult angry Pollock,
She joins. You see that? She harnessed her name. She heard it. She's like, Tuck is talking about me.
She
I'm
sensed
in.
it.
There it is.
she completely sensed that.
She knew it.
Yeah.
Angry Pollock in the house. What's going on?
I'm not gonna kid you. I get a little bit of a lady boner
Yeah.
when I think about Veronica.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Not a real, but I mean a lady boner.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
That's still totally fair. Totally acceptable. Yeah.
So we're 3-handed. So our dismissal of Hugh was premature, and in fact he did triple up, but then gets in with ace-7 versus
Yeah, how does that
sixes.
happen? How do you you go down a sword stack, we think you're out, but then you triple, but then you're still out.
Right.
Damn it.
Such is the nature. I mean, he gets it in. The funny thing is, he loses 10s to Queen Jack for a huge pot. He loses ace-7 to 6 for a huge pot. And obviously that's going to sting, but he did win 7s versus kings. Either way, though, he's gone in 4th place. He takes home $3,600. Our remaining 3 players all guaranteed $5,200. And we continue on. Fortunate with about 80% of the chips in play.
So when I tell players, don't use up all your run good early in the tournament. Save some of it for the final
How
table.
do you go about saving some of it?
It's a very difficult process, but it comes with time, for sure. Play more tournaments, I promise you. You'll run bad.
You can actually
You run better. It's true.
practice
you can harness
when you use
yeah.
it.
Just ask Harlan if you've ever watched Stones live. Ask
Yeah.
Harlan. He's harnessed all of his run good for the past couple of years, and he's using it all now for the streams.
I'm
Yeah.
saving it for I'm gonna save it for 4 years.
Yeah, just save it for the main event.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it for one specific year. I don't know when.
Easy money. You're good. When you win the main event, I'll be like, remember that run good talk that
Now.
we talked about? Yeah, that's it.
It'll be
Release.
one of those days. I'll be day 6 of the main event. I'll be like, okay, I'd like to cash in my run good now.
I'll bring over the waiver. You can just sign
Right.
it, and it's cash.
I will cash it in right now. That's a good day 6 is a really good day to run good in the main event.
Easy money. Good. You're good. Because every page up there is huge. Very solid. Edge.
Athena says, I love Tuck. Golden Retrievers are the best. Thank you, and I agree. I have 2 Goldens myself at home.
Goldens are the best.
I have 3 dogs. I have 1 rescue mutt, and then I have 2 Goldens.
Born and raised with retrievers and labs. Absolutely love them. They're the best. Total fan.
So 3-handed poker. Fortunately, just mounds and mounds of plaques.
He can't even look. He barely look at his cards around his towers of blocks.
He knows he can move them, right?
No, I don't think he does. Why would you?
There's nobody in seats.
You have to pay relocation fees if you do that. It's rough.
Fortunate, by the way, he could actually almost shove, just
Look,
continue shoving.
he's just yelling raise, and he
Ooh.
can't even put out enough plaques. There. Oh, low
This could
wakes
get
up
all
ace
in
10.
now.
Oh yeah.
Low should be shoving.
It's kind of that fun ace-10 scenario we were talking about earlier. However, it's a little bit different case when there's only 3-handed. I think is she going to flat? And Andy's obviously going to let it go here. So we got heads up to the flop.
So when she misses his flop, is she just gonna check fold?
That's rough. What about a 10-high board here for fun? Oh, look at
No,
that. You
then-
can't even pull all the plaques
then he
across.
doubles
That's how
up
bad it
then.
is.
I mean, he doubles
Of course,
up.
of course.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the flats are stupid. This is
Dude,
dumb.
look how much that
This is
takes.
stupid.
That's intense. It takes 4 pulls of
just
the
takes so
ship.
much longer
It's
for no
much.
reason.
Oh, well, that's going to be over here. That's over for low. Insta fold for low.
And the problem is okay, what happens if Fortune had a Queen 10 here? It's still gonna go check, bet, fold.
It's the same scenario.
Fortune's gonna put C-bet out there no matter what, and unless low hits, she's just gonna fold. And Ace 10 is just too strong a hand to do that with. Yeah, I live in proverbial zoo. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I have 3 dogs and 2 cats, and 2 kids.
Get a full house. Animals full of animals.
I have a fish too, but I don't think the fish is gonna live much longer.
Is the fish watching the stream right now? Does the fish know it's not going to live much longer?
I don't know. I mean, I'll put it this way: every single day we go to feed him, we're or her.
You hope it.
No,
is not
I
floating?
wait until it's I'm like, is it moving? I can't. Oh yeah, it's moving. Okay, here.
I don't want to waste fish food or anything. I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't want to put food in a bowl just like he's dead.
It's very nice of you.
But I'm in the process of moving. I'm not moving yet, but I just bought it. I just bought a new house.
In the process of
And
moving possible fish carcasses.
Well, I don't think the fish will make them. I don't think the fish can survive the move.
Are we opening up side prop bets for this or?
Sure.
Solid, guys. Who thinks the fish will make the Tuchman move?
Will the fish make the move?
Over under.
Will he survive the move?
The line is set. Will it survive the move?
Right.
Period.
And
Over
just so you
under.
know, we're gonna move. Let's say we're probably gonna move December 15th.
Oof. That's a solid month out. I'm taking.
It's 2 months out, dude.
The fish is dead. The fish is dead by the time you move. I'm taking the dead fish line.
It's a beta fish.
Oh, definitely dead. Oh my
Well,
god.
I think how long they usually last? 2 years, right?
I don't know.
And ours is 3 years old.
Just put a mirror there so it can stress out against itself.
He's already lived 50% longer than they normally live.
Oh, you're toast. I love the under there. Fish is toast.
Yeah.
Look at this chip stack now. Look at this chip spread here. Fortunate here, 4.5 million, low at 1.6. Andy
Yeah.
at 655K. It's rough.
This is Fortunate's tournament.
Yeah, wow. Fortunate. I mean, super rock nut tight, and has just pulled it out. Crazy.
Hey, you know what? You can never be too careful. You can never be too patient. Fortunate showed it.
I don't know what exact delay we're on, but Poker Pro Eric commenting back on the whole run good thing. You won't make it till day 6 without using your run good. Sorry, Tuck. Well,
I think that was a troll.
You can use it might have been, but you can use a small portion of your run gun actually on day 5 if you need to make it to day 6. And then
I might need to. I have made it to. I played the main event 5 times.
Okay.
And I have made it to day 4 twice out of those. Ooh. So apparently, maybe I need my run good on day 4.
That's it.
Because I have yet to make it day 5. I've made day 4
that's
twice.
the problem is if you save it to run, if day 6 but you don't make it there, it's useless. But if you know when you need to use it.
Yeah, but I mean the problem is I think maybe I just need to like play better and make it to day 6 and then use it because how much? I mean, your run good on day 4 just isn't really going to help you that much.
No.
Without if you don't have it on day 5 and day 6 and day 7.
Sure. I think you need a constant barrage of pictures of your puppies and your kids and everything just like sent to your phone like every hour. I think that will help you. That's also positive EV, I promise.
Really?
Sure. No, is it not?
Yeah, and Poker Pro says Tucker's proven my point. You need to use the run good on day 4. Maybe that's the case. I think that might be right. For me, at least. Some other people who routinely make day 5 and day 6 and day 7, they can save it for later. But I have a hiccup on day 4.
We've cracked the code, but once you get over that hump, though, it's all smooth sailing.
That might be
You're
the
good.
case.
That's it. So low here.
Yeah, some people they want to use the run good on day 1. You don't need day. Day 1's easy.
Day 1, just fold it and survive. Like on to the next one.
Just don't screw up.
Yeah. Just don't play bad. Oh God, I busted day 1 every time. All
Well, I
day.
mean, listen, good players bust day 1 every year.
Of course.
So it happens.
Well, trust me, we've all seen some of those ridiculous beats. You're like, how can you ever fold there? You're like, I get it. I mean, you know, shit happens. Yeah.
Fortunate with 2/3 of the chips in play. He actually has more than that. The math is wrong.
Yeah, total chips 5.4, and he's got 4.4.
Well, it was weird.
Well,
The total chips are 5.4, and somehow our total chips are 6.6.
Well, yeah, you got rules, math, science. There's
Yeah.
a lot. There's a lot going on there.
Something's what it is, but something's off.
So again, guys, you're watching Stones live here. Final combination, final 3. Started out with 230 players. Blinds are at 80K, 160K here with a 20K ante.
I think Poker Pro Eric is making fun of me, but he's doing it in a really humorous manner, so I'm going to continue reading it.
He does a little bit of a solid hashtag troll, for sure.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm always a big fan. I'm like, listen, if you are going to make fun of me, but you're funny, then I'm all for it.
Then I
just
will-
be creative.
Then I'll allow it.
Right? No, it's not. Just be. I'm saying if you're going to be creative
Yeah.
with your troll,
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah. Don't just be like uniform and lame.
Right? Like the
Yeah.
random guy who just tweets me and be like, "You suck. Go to hell."
Come on.
Right? Come on, you can do better than that.
It's words right out of my mouth. Come on, you can do better.
Right.
You're better than that.
Raise the game.
Fortunate, small blind with 7s, all in, just ships it.
Smart
Applying
play.
the pressure. Absolutely. Absolutely. What, raise and then fold to a reshove? No, just ship it, call it a day.
In all fairness, 7s are actually close to a hand that you actually can raise call off on, I think. That's a strong enough hand. Like 9s, 10s, jacks. Like, you don't mind raise calling off on that hand.
So Fortunate does make the raise low calls. 6-9, she does outflop Fortunate, and she bets.
So he did
He's
not
gonna
move
let it
all in.
go.
He just raised.
Yeah. Did it work out all right?
Yeah, bet 5 and 100, so that's cool. A little money, you know?
You have random women just stealing your clothes.
Apparently, it brings them good luck, and they turn $5 into $200. So if you need some run good, I have a good hoodie for you.
You know, you have a Stones hoodie, and I've been bugging Justin Curitis for a Stones hoodie for many, many years.
It's worth its weight in gold, I'm telling you, man. Stones hoodies are solid around here.
Who do I have to sleep with to get a Stones hoodie?
Well, so for starters, JFK Stones. For starter. Yeah. There might be more. I just know that that's where you start.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I want techies. Well played.
Kappa. In your face. Fortunate lets it go on the button here over to low in the small. And she's got King 4. Let's see what she's going to do here. She's in for 80K. Looks like
By the way, Andy
she's all in. She's shipping it with King 4.
That's smart. That's a good play.
And Andy just says, he goes, yeah, gamble. And the problem with Andy
chips.
here,
He has like
of
3 big
course,
blinds.
and the problem with Andy here with 3-4 clubs, I mean, come on, how can I not have 2 live ones? It's just the one rare circumstance where Lowe actually has a 4 for a tie card, has him dominated.
Yeah, you got pretty unlucky there.
Oh, and of course a 4's in the window. Rough.
Andy looking for running clubs, running straight cards, or a 3.
Oh my god. This is getting all in. If it's not on the flop, it's on the turn. This is rough.
Andy needs a 3 to survive.
And that is going to seal it up. That is going to leave Andy as our 3rd place finisher here for $5,200.
He actually had some chop outs there, but he needed a 3 to win it. Nonetheless, though, he is out. What do you think? 5,200. Wow. So we're down to heads up, and I got to tell you, when we were 4-handed, if you told me these 2 are the heads up,
Oh, dude. How is that possible?
Right?
How is that possible at all? I mean, it's no knock towards them. They just played super tight, and when you have a generally tight appearance and you get short-handed, when you need to be loosening up your range and expanding your range, it just generally doesn't bode well for you. And I'm actually really happy for these 2 guys. I mean, super solid play.
so are these 2 going to make a deal now?
They grind it all the way down. Yep. That's it.
What's he doing with the shoe?
So I have no idea why the shoe got put on the table.
Is that a symbolic thing?
Is that because we never went heads up? Like, I don't know.
I will
what
offer you the shoe.
Is it a shoe thing? Is that where? Please don't pour any liquor in there and drink or anything.
Shoe bomb. They do that.
It's a shoe bomb.
Shoe bomb.
It's true. Very true.
The Brits do that. I think they're done.
I think they are going to chop it up, guys. And if that's any consolation, I believe they will chop it. That's looks like about 19,000 chopped. It's a solid chop, maybe 9,500 a person ish, give or take.
Well, they're not chopping it up even, are they?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Why would he do that?
You tell me. Can we get a final judge's ruling here? JFK Stone still hanging around.
They've got to do an ICM chop.
Maybe.
And at this point, you know, your chips are worth a certain amount of money. Pretty much, it's a math thing. I mean, my guess would be that he probably gets somewhere in the neighborhood of like, you know, 10,000, 10,500, and maybe she gets like 9,000.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I like it. Either way, it's almost 20K up there to be chopped between the 2. Grows how they chop it up, and solid win.
Right. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I once again, we do apologize for the technical difficulties and our late start tonight, but we're back at it tomorrow. Not us personally, but Stones Live is back at it tomorrow. Justin Hammer,
dude, it's gonna be
the
awesome.
tournament director at Commerce,
absolutely,
is from LA, of course. Is up here. He'll be commentating tomorrow with Michael.
Yeah, Mr. Longcar, absolutely, Michael Longcar, absolutely.
So they're at it tomorrow. If you guys want to play the Assassin's Bounty, that starts at 10 in the morning in just 7 hours and 16 minutes.
And apparently I will be there, so I need to go home and go to bed immediately.
Good luck to you.
Very true. I'll do a late start. I'll do like the fashionably like Phil Helmy stroll in late. Maybe like less like random women.
Showing like 11:15.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rolling.
For sure. Roll.
What will you wear tomorrow? You gonna wear a suit?
So many choices. I don't even know yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know my suit collection. It's
I do,
extensive.
It's strong.
Solid.
It's strong. Anyway, thank you guys so much, and I want to thank everybody for inviting me up here. I will do my best to get back up here at Stones Live as soon as I possibly can.
Very cool. Always a pleasure. Guys, you're awesome. You're awesome. Thanks for watching Stones Live. And we'll see you guys tonight, tomorrow. Same thing.